Buff Nation, what's going on? All of my BWBs out there, salute to y'all. That means my bandwagon buffs. If you're just here at Colorado, welcome to the fan base. All you new fans, all you new fans, all right? We call ourselves BWBs around here. If you're new to Colorado, you knew nothing about Colorado, you are a bandwagon buff, and we've made it here at TLP Sports Club. We've made it okay for you to be a bandwagon buff. But you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like forgetting about the intro. Listen, man, you're now watching TLP Sports Club. This is TLP Live Monday Night Football, guys. It is Monday, July the 8th. All right, Monday, July the 8th, and you are watching Monday Night Football. I am your host. That's Harry Billion. Welcome to the show, guys. These last couple of days, these last couple of shows, we've actually been going over Colorado. We've been trying to figure out a straight path to Colorado actually making that Big 12 championship and how we're going to fare out if we meet one of these teams that's actually in the Big 12. The Big 12 has 16 teams, in case you didn't know, all right? If you're new to college football, yes, it's a little bit weird, okay? But you're at the right channel. You're watching the right channel. At this channel, at TLP Sports Club, I'm like the historian, guys. I'm the guy, I'm like the educator. I'm the guy that gives you information about the Big 12, Colorado's history, anything you want to find out about either our conference, about college football, and you're new to all of this, this is the right channel you're at. You're in the right place, all right? At this community or with this community, guys, we support each other here. We already know that we are bandwagon, you know what I'm saying? We're bandwagon buffs, and we accept what it is that we are. You feel me? So we try to make sure that we have a safe environment for you to be able to talk college football, especially if you're new to all of this. All right, if you are a college football fan, you know college football, you're also in the right place, because what we've been doing lately, we've been talking a lot of college football, especially the Big 12. So everybody gets a little something here. All right, it's not just Colorado stuff. It's mostly Colorado, but you get a lot of football talk here. We have a lot of great conversation, and we talk everything here that you know, anything about college football we're talking about here. But in today's show, guys, we're going to be talking about the Iowa State Cyclones. If you saw the thumbnail, the Iowa State Cyclones are next on our list. All right, because we're taking the CBS Sports preseason ranking for the Big 12, and we're going down that list. We're talking about all 16 teams. I believe we've done 5 already. We're talking about all 16 teams, and we're trying to find a way how Colorado is going to either sneak in to that, to the playoffs, how we're going to get in. If we get in and we meet one of these teams, do we stand a chance with them? We don't know, but we're going to take a look at the Cyclones tonight. We're going to go deep into their schedule. We're going to take a look at their opponents. We're going to take a look at their 2023, how they did in 2023, and then we're going to take a look at their 2024 schedule and try to see their wins and losses and how they're going to fare out in 2024. And if you are in the chat, if we're going to try to give you some more information. If you're in the chat, if you are watching live, we're going to try to get some more information based around whatever's going on with the Buffs. If you have any information about the Buffs, anything through the grapevine that you've heard, has Juju committed? Who's committed lately? What's new on the Buffs schedule? Let us know. I know the guys were on vacation. They're probably going to be returning real soon to get back to practice, because football is only, I believe now, we got 6 more Saturdays before college football actually starts in August. Before you know it, all of the arguments are going to be over. Now they're going to have to get on that field, and they're going to have to show us what they're all about. And then we can find out who was right. Have we been accurate here at TLP Sports Club? Have we been talking the right talk? We don't know. But anyway, tonight's show, guys, like I said, we're talking about the Iowa State Cyclones. We don't play them on our regular schedule in 2023, in 2024. But in case we meet them in the Big 12 championship, they are a viable contender for that Big 12 championship. So if we meet them, can we beat them? That's the question that's on the board tonight. Can we beat them? All right. You can join the show, guys. Actually, the email is right there. Which finger do I use? Yeah, I use this one, right? The email is right on your screen if you are watching live on YouTube. Guys, join tlplive@gmail.com. The email again is jointlplive@gmail.com. Sometimes people hit me up like, yo, why are you talking about this and why are you doing that? Why you didn't say this and why you didn't say that? I'm like, bruh, the show is a live show that you can actually come on and you can give us your opinion. All right? Don't be a keyboard gangster after the show is over and try to tell me that this and that and this and that. You can come on the show and you can be a gangster live, okay? Join TLP Live right there on your screen. If you are just listening over either through the podcast or just through the audio, well, you probably can, you can either call in, you can email me, jointlplive@gmail.com. That's the email. And you don't necessarily have to show your face. You can just, talk and your audio will be fine for us. All right. So that's what's up. Marcus Barnett said they started back up today. All right. So the guys are back and they're practicing again because college football, man, listen, I actually did a video where I broke down the college football calendar for a D1 college football player. They barely have breaks. All right. They get a couple of weeks here and there and they go home, see family members, and then they got to get right back to work. Spring, summer, short, very, very short windows. If you're interested in something like that, you can go on my channel and you can watch that. All right. Some people are watching on X or formerly known as Twitter. So if you get a chance, you definitely want to go to the channel on YouTube and hopefully you will subscribe. I would like for you to subscribe. And also, I want you to look at some of the other videos that I have done from all the way from the history of how we got Ralphie, the girl bull, to the history of CU itself and everything in between. All right. I got a lot of great videos on my channel that you can watch. But lately, because it's off season, it's preseason, I'm doing these matchups. I'm trying to find a way. I'm trying to find a path. If you know a path, if you know a way, help us out in the chat, guys. If you know a way, you can also, if you have time to call in tonight, come on here and let's talk if you see a pathway with the Cyclones. All right. The Cyclones are a tough opponent, but I'm sure that there has to be some way that we can match their energy. All right. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead. Does anybody in the chat, is there anything new that we know? Did Juju commit yet? Anything through the grapevine? I would like to know. Again, please call me. If you want to call in, join tlplive@gmail.com. Let me make sure I'm not missing no email so that if I have anybody that wants to come on the show, we will have them come on the show. But without further ado, guys, let's get to it. Let's get right to it. All right. I'm going to get a little bit of help today. I found a video. Apparently there's this guy that's on YouTube, and he's actually dug into the Cyclones, and he's done he's done his homework, and we're gonna use some of his information for. Hold up, give me 1 second. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and put this information. Let's go ahead and dig into it. All right. Let's get to work, guys. Let's get to work. Let's get to these Cyclones, the Iowa State Cyclones. I don't know if you are a football aficionado, if you are new around here. Prime Effect 101, what up with you? Prime Effect said, I've been MIA. I'm back. What's up? That's what's up, Prime Effect. Glad you're back, man. I'm so glad to see you back in the chat. That's what's up. Glad to see you back. All right, cool. So here we are, guys. All right, in case for those of you who do not know, this is what I'm doing. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm basically taking the CBS Sports. I'm taking their ranking of their preseason ranking of the Big 12 teams, and I'm going down that list. And so far, we've dealt with Utah, which is ranked number 1. Then we went down to Kansas, which is ranked number 2. Then we did Kansas State, which is ranked number 2, K-State. We did Kansas, ranked number 3. We went through Oklahoma State, all right, OSU. OSU is ranked number 4. And I believe, yes, the last time on Friday, we dealt with Arizona. Arizona was it was actually a good video. It was actually a good discussion. We did Arizona, which is ranked number 5. And now we are down to number 6. The preseason ranking, number 6, the Iowa State Cyclones. All right, so let's get their information on tape, and then we'll get a little deeper. Yo, you been under the weather, Prime Effect? Man, yo, I hope you're okay. I hope all is well. You got COVID? You got that after COVID? Hector Bruno, what's up with you? Richard LaFleur, what up with you? Marcus Barnett, what up? King Courtney, what up with you? No, CU does not play Iowa State this year. But what we're doing is, because if we get into that Big 12 championship, there is a possibility that we meet Iowa State. So we're going to go through their schedule and try to see if we can find a path, past them. Here it goes. Iowa State sits at number 6, but the Cyclones might be the most underrated team in the country. Not just in the Big 12, but in the country. Many turned on ISU after a 1-2 start, but the Cyclones went on to go 6-3 in Big 12 play and contended for the conference crown deep into November. Now, Iowa State ranks number 2 nationally in returning production, and is the only program ranked top 5 in both offensive and defensive returning production. They are ranked 5th, all right, ranked number 5 in the country. They're returning a lot of production. Their running back, Abu Sema III, might be the X factor after averaging 7.3 yards per carry as a freshman. All right. If he can develop into a complete running back, Iowa State could easily find itself in the title game. All right. That's the skinny on Iowa State. All right. So we're gonna be getting into Iowa State a little deeper, guys. Let's get into their schedule. I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about how they did in 2020 and 2023, and then we'll talk about their 2024. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so go ahead and take down the email, jointlplive@gmail.com. That is the email for you, jointlplive@gmail.com. That is the email. I'm taking this off the screen. All right, let's get into this. All right, so how did they do in 2023? They didn't do too bad. They're playing Northern Iowa Panthers. They got the W. Iowa Hawkeyes, they lost. At Ohio, the Bobcats, they lost. They beat Oklahoma State. They beat the Cowboys. They beat OSU 34-27. They went to Oklahoma. The Sooners, they lost to them 50-20. They beat the Horned Frogs. That's TCU. They beat Cincinnati. They beat the Baylor Bears. Kansas Jayhawks, they lost. They took the L there. The BYU Cougars, they won. They beat BYU 45-13 last year. And then they played Texas and lost 26-16. Texas is now in the SEC. At K-State, they won 42-35. And then they took an L versus the Memphis Tigers, 36-26. That was their 2023 schedule. All right. How many L's was that? 1, 2. That's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So they lost 6 games. All right. 6-6. Okay. So Iowa is a formidable opponent if Colorado has to meet Iowa State. If Colorado meets Iowa State in the championship, in that Big 12 championship, Iowa State is a really good team. Iowa State is not a pushover at all. All right, let's find out who they actually lost in the transfer portal and who they gained in the transfer portal. Let's look at that right now. Give me 1 second. Let me just push that over. Y'all probably seeing a commercial right now. That's right. Let's skip this commercial. All right, so I want to thank this guy's name is Joey Broback, a deep dive into 2024 Iowa State Cyclones. All right, so let's take a look at this. So this is who they lost in the 2020 in the transfer portal. All right, hold on. Where's this guy? Let's go back to this and let's pause it. All right, guys. Deborah Montague. Deborah, how you doing? This is Praise the Lord, Harry B. This is my first time on your show, but not my first time giving you a like on YouTube. I enjoy how you keep it real. Evangelist Deborah Lyle Modiki. How you doing, Evangelist? God bless. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. All right, so let's take a look at who they lost in the transfer portal. So they lost inside linebacker. They lost their inside linebacker, Daryl Simmons Jr. Okay, I'm not going to get all of these names correct, all right? They lost their running back, Cardvisius Norton, cornerback Miles Norwood, linebacker Jane Lewis, the defensive end Jefferson Adam, safety Travion McGee, running back Eli Sanders, the tight end Deshaun Hanukkah, and then they lost a safety Blake Thompson. Who did they gain through the transfer portal? They got Eli Green, that's a wide receiver. They got a cornerback Ryan Robbins Jr. They got a running back Jalen Jackson, wide receiver Isaiah Austin, defensive end Kennard Snyder. They got an inside offensive lineman Dylan Barrett. So they're replacing Daryl Simmons Jr. with Dylan Barrett. All right, and then they're gaining offensive tackle Jalen Travis. Shirley Kimball, how you doing today? All right, so that's who they lost in the transfer portal. That's who they gained also in the transfer portal. All right, like I said, I want to thank this guy. This is actually found this video just doing some research for this video for this live, and so this is Joe Broback. Joe, if you are watching or if you come across this video, I want to say salute to you. Thank you for your information. All right, I really appreciate it. Let's see. Let's look at their staff real quick. Joe, Joe got this video lit, bro. This is the kind of stuff I'll be doing. So, Joe, that's what's up, man. I appreciate you, man. Yes, sir, Joe. All right, so their coaching staff, their head coach is Matt Campbell. I don't know if Matt Campbell is still there. All right, so hopefully Matt Campbell is still there. Y'all keep me honest. If y'all out there and y'all know about the Cyclones, let me know. All right, their offensive hold up. Let me bring on my guy. Let me bring up my guy to help me out here. DC Carson Music, what up with you, man? Thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate you, brother.
What's going on? How's everybody doing this evening?
All is well, brother. All right, hey, man. So, did you do any homework on these Cyclones? Have you heard about them? Do you know anything about them?
I did some, not as much as I've done on the other, but I've done enough for us to have a conversation.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the Cyclones. We're all new to the Big 12, but I think we got enough here for like you said, for us to have a conversation.
Yes.
So we're looking at their coaching staff. Their head coach is Matt Campbell. I'm only guessing that Matt Campbell is still there. I don't think he left. So I
believe he is.
I think he's still there. Their offensive coordinator, Tyler Mauser, is still there. I believe he's still there. The defensive coordinator, John Haycock, that'll be his name. So again, there were 7. They either won a bowl game, I think. I believe they won a bowl game 7-6. I believe the regular season they went 6-6, and they should have won their bowl game. They'll go 7-6. Offense, 26.2 points per game. They had 364.9 yards per game, and on defense, they had 22.8 points allowed per game and 363.2 yards against per game. All right. So, what do you think about what when you hear those or when you see those numbers? What does that say to what does that say to you, DC?
It says to me they have a functional offense, and they play complementary football on defense. So they have kind of like a bend don't break, because 363 yards, that's up there. And that's common, not so uncommon in football these days. But yeah, that's what it says to me. Because I mean, think about it: that if they're scoring 26, but then they stop keeping people to 22, they're playing complementary book out. So you see how them numbers that's a 4-point spread. So like when we talk about Colorado only lost by X, Y, and Z, that the common loss of margin of victory is 3 and 7, anywhere between 3 and 7. So that's good. That's not bad to be able to play like that.
Okay. All right. So before I go any further, have you heard anything through the grapevine about Colorado that I haven't heard? Because I know they've probably been on break, so there hasn't been any type of breaking news that you saw through the grapevine, right? It's not out there because I haven't seen anything.
Nothing I've seen.
All right. So yeah. Okay. So we're pretty much on the same page here. All right, so Iowa State, we got, so let's look at some of this information. We're going to be going to their 2024 schedule and do wins and losses and see how Colorado can actually fare off if we happen to meet these guys. Right now, I just want to kind of go through a little bit of information. These are some of their key players. You got Rocco Becht, you got Semi the third, or Abu Semi the third, and you got Jalen Jackson. And on their depth chart, they got quarterback J.J. Cole. They got running back Dylan Lee. And Dylan Lee's a freshman. All right. And it looks like J.J. Cole has an 81.8% with 23 yards. So he's on the depth chart, so he ain't playing that much. All right. Let me see any more key or instrumental players that we should be aware of. I appreciate this guy. Let me show you who the guy is, just in case anybody know this guy out there. If you've seen his channel before, this is Joe right here. I just want to say shout out to Joe. All right, if y'all get a chance, y'all want to support Joe, please support him. This is the type of video that I'll be doing, yo. So this is actually good. Now he's actually inspired me to to do more graphics like this. Like he's laying it all out like this. I'm like, come on, Joe, what you trying to do to me, Joe? Yo, I love it. I love it. All right, so more key players on the. These are offensive pass catchers, right? This is what you're seeing out there. Okay, Jaden Higgins. They got Jalen Noel, Jaden, and then Jalen. They got Isaiah Austin and Benjamin Brommer. All right, so Jaden Higgins is 6'4". Jalen Noel is 5'10". So Jaden had 983 yards with 6 touchdowns. I'm believing this is the 2023 information right here. Jalen had 822, 7 touchdowns. Isaiah had 266 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Benjamin, that's my grandfather's name, 500. He has 352 yards with 2 touchdowns. Those are some of the key players for the Cyclones.
So let me give you an interesting fact about that.
Okay.
Iowa State played on November 18th of 2023. Iowa State played Texas. Texas, and they only lost by 10 points. Bama 2023? Lost. Yes, Bama lost to Texas by 10 points.
Okay.
So the what we're saying is that but yet Texas Longhorns scored. The score was 34-24 against Bama, but for Iowa it was Texas 26, Iowa State 16. So I mean, like I say, these teams, like sometimes when you think about, oh, Iowa State is not that good. No, that's not bad at all. To hold Texas to 26 points is not bad at all, and to be able to move the ball on them. So that's good. And here's the thing: Iowa State beat Kansas State 42-35. So it's just interesting that this team is a lot better than what people did, but they did lose to Kansas. To score Kansas 28 and Iowa State 21.
Right. So you're saying, so Texas beat Alabama last year. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, by 10 points.
Sure by 10 points, and they held
in Tuscaloosa. In Tuscaloosa.
Wow. Okay.
Almost unheard of. So that's why I'm saying that if Iowa is able to do that type of stuff, I just don't sleep on this Iowa team.
Right. This is not a. they actually remind me of one of these like headhunter teams that are like right on the brink of like breakthrough, or they're about to do something serious. That's what they remind me of. The teams that I will put into that category are going to be OSU, Utah, the Utah Utes. What is the other team? I don't like them, but what's the the Ducks. What the heck? I can't remember their name.
The Oregon Ducks.
Oregon Ducks. There you go. I can remember that. I can remember their mascot, but not their actual name. So those are some teams that are kind of like on the brink of like either going all the way, or they just need a few key pieces added to their team to actually take it all the way. So what does that make sense to you?
Makes sense to me.
All right. So that's what I'm thinking. So I don't know if I really haven't seen them play. I would definitely love to see how they play, and the fact that they're bringing back these guys from they're bringing back these guys right here on our screen, and it seems like their depth chart is pretty stacked. How would you compare if CU was to meet them in the playoffs? How would you compare their depth chart versus what you know about CU?
Well, I would probably say they have a little more depth. I would say the two things that would give them the advantage. I mean, of course, at quarterback, I couldn't give them an advantage, and I couldn't necessarily, as far as squad for wide receiver. What makes this team there is the depth of it. I mean, think about it. You've got a 983 yard wide receiver, and Higgins, and then you've got one at 820. The other two are serviceable, but they did out of the portal bring in a couple, like they brought in the Eli Green
Yeah.
um, from I forget where he came from, but then they brought in another running back. So I think they have they have depth. Put it like this: they had to have enough depth to do what they did last year.
Right. So now, hopefully, now the thing about it, see, I'll be doing these videos and I'll be doing these type of comparison videos, and I'm thinking like, okay, so what would cause a team to either relapse or or decline in play? What? Since you're one of these legacy guys, what do you think causes a team to have a decline in production, especially when you're returning a lot of guys?
Line. If you think about most of these teams that are being picked up at the top, the biggest thing y'all hear them talk about is their trenches have been together. With Utah, you look at their line and then you look at the schedule that they have. If they have a team or if they're more senior, then they've got some good playmakers. Which Colorado has full of playmakers. That means you cannot take that away. Nobody can take that away. I will go war with CU fans saying you cannot take away from the playmaking ability of Colorado. I think that when you look at this, though, the main thing is going to be trenches and how long the team has been together. If you've got a bunch of freshmen, that team may struggle. Where if you've got senior leadership in there, then that team will have a tendency, a better chance of being able to, when it comes down to the wire, that them being together is to their advantage.
So, but if let's say you're one of these teams like OSU, right? And you're bringing back a lot of your starters and the guys. If you did very well, you're bringing back a lot of your guys.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think causes a team to decline in production, especially if you did good the year prior?
Like injuries, that can do it.
Okay.
Sometimes the injury bug just goes through a team and it just slices and dices them. So you have to stay healthy, and and you really gonna get when I say this too. And the ball's got to break your way.
Oh yeah, man, that's one thing they talk about in the Big 12. Man, there has to be like that luck factor, or the ball has to literally bounce your way for you to, like, you know what I'm saying? Because these teams are pretty neck and neck when it comes to talent. There's not a big disparity once you get from top 5 in the rankings and you come to the bottom. It's like, any given Saturday, so anything can happen with one of these teams.
1,000% accurate. That's why I think, like, when you look at these teams in the Big 12, I know the thing is saying, and I know Media Day is coming up this week with the Big 12. I believe it's this week. That you can look there and see, man, they wrong for putting Colorado at 11. But if you think about it from the top to around the 11th to 12th spot, it's not that big of a difference between them in quality. It is not. Colorado has those playmakers. I think what happens is, of course, people may give the senior teams and the units that have been together a lot more weight, but I mean, it's very possible for Colorado to run through this conference.
What do you think that's unfair? Because let's talk about that a little bit. Do you think it's unfair to be at 11? Because I don't know that that's unfair. I'm just telling you, I don't know that that's unfair. I think, given all of the elements and given all of the I guess lack of production in Colorado's first year, you find that to be unfair?
I don't find it to be unfair. I understand why. I mean, at the end of the day is that you are talking about a team that is, bringing in a lot of new people. And so you just don't know how they play. So I don't think it's unfair. I know some fans feel like, oh, let's just hate. Well, not necessarily. There is a method to the madness. So I don't think so.
I don't necessarily think so too. I think, we talked about this a little bit before, but I don't find that that's unfair, because if you look at the teams that are ranked ahead of Colorado, these are teams that have been somewhat consistent, more consistent than Colorado, and Colorado just got to the Big 12. If we were to look at these rankings, right? These preseason ranking. These are just preseason. That doesn't really mean much. But if you're looking at these rankings, who would you put Colorado above?
TCU. I know what TCU is about to get,
You
Harry.
can't put Colorado above TCU because TCU is 1 year removed, and then they won 5 games. They won 5 games, and they lost 4 games by single-digit points. Colorado lost 8 games with single-digit points, but you can't put Colorado above TCU.
Well, think about it. You asked me who could I. You didn't ask me who would I. Could I? Yeah, I could put TCU there. Would I? No. That's why I said the whole thing of, yeah, Harry, I know what they got coming back and what they got in the portal and different things like that. And y'all don't sleep with what Baylor's doing on recruiting. Just a caution. But yeah, I agree with that. And the thing is, 11. I know, the thing is, because my thing is say, okay, so if you say 11, let's move them to 10 just for conversation's sake. I would ask, okay, how much higher do you go? Do you move them past Texas Tech? Because I know you can sit back and say, well, this person has a phenomenal player. And, you got 2. You've got Travis on one side and Shedeur on the other. But does that mean I move them to, like, ahead of who? Do you move them ahead of Utah?
Yeah, nah. I don't see. I think this is actually the best ranking they could have given Colorado for for the record, and then for you got to also think about, even though their record was 4-8, they're not returning a big number of those people.
I agree, and you know what? As I've been sitting here diving into it, almost getting more away from my butter, I have to sit back and say, I know folks hate, but when the emotions come down, for Coach Prime to come in when he did and be able to get some of the players that he got, that right there in the tech, a program that was in the dump, that's not to be shunned or say that's nothing. It's not a nothing. It is absolutely something. It just comes now to, can you build on that?
If you actually look at it, this is actually a complimentary ranking. You feel me? Like, this is actually complimentary. I know they don't have, BYU and Baylor and all. This is complimentary because if you look at how CU played, I'm sure they're taking into some things into consideration. But this is actually a complimentary ranking for CU. It could have been worse. And I think CU is. There's 16 teams in Colorado being ranked number 11. Now, let's say Talk of the Town podcast is saying it's up to Colorado to prove them wrong. You feel me? So Colorado has to actually go in there and play, and this is actually a good place to be because the expectations are not too high, right? Depending on how the season goes, if Colorado does well and we go 6-6, or my prediction is 8-4, the talking point can kind of like be neutral. Like, hey, I know a lot more people rank. I think people's expectations in their heads are much higher than our rankings always suggest. But if you have a team like Colorado that's ranked number 11, then the expectation and the talking shouldn't be. It should never go to that other place, right? But it always going to like, oh, y'all went 6-6. But if we go 6-6, make it to a bowl game, then we can say, hey, we were ranked number 11 and we did exactly what we were supposed to do. Is that a fair thing to say, or is that crazy?
I would say 6-6 you did better, and truth be told, 6-6 is nothing to say, oh, Colorado sucks. I was been reflecting on a lot about Colorado and really looking at it to go into this year with basically unbiased eyes, as they call it. And right. I would say is that one of my issues over the offseason, it's not so much that I don't believe Coach Prime can get them there. I think my biggest thing that you hear, I realize, is I don't agree with the timeline to greatness. Or to domination. I agree that they can get there, but you and I talk about that schedule next year, dude. And he would have already had something established and should get some people in if he can get to 66, 7-5. Harry, you already see it. He will get there. If you just don't let this year, I know, people want to pop off and just be like, yeah, we down. If you will just be patient 6-6. Your 6-6 this year will be 9-3. Well, what 9-3 next year, because a lot of these teams are losing folks too, and you gaining.
That's right. Colorado is always gaining, and hopefully we get Juju. I don't know. Have you heard anything about Juju lately? Because it's always like, we're waiting on this, Juju. Like I said, I said he should take his time, and like I told you, some people getting mad at me for just saying don't say that, and I don't know. Like we don't want any kind of reality at all. I say it's better for a player to take their time, get it right first. You feel me? Take your time, get it right, so that when we get the player, we know that we got him. It's not going to be one of those situations where we get a player, they kind of rush into a decision to try to make the fan base, to make them happy. And then at the end of the day, they're going to leave. You know what I'm saying? They're going to decide to leave because they're not happy, because they didn't really consider all of the different elements that comes with that decision you just made. You feel me?
I'll be honest with you. Coach Lowerholt is the unsung hero in this thing by recruiting the linemen that he's recruited. Folks cannot sleep on that. Think about it. You got Jordan Seaton. You just got another 4-star. You got other people they're building. And I got to sit here and tell you is that I wouldn't even be, if personally, Colorado fans, don't even worry about Juju. You got the money and the program visibility to get what you want out of the portal if you need to. So I wouldn't even worry about that. You also have the ability to go and get some very good actual dog receivers out of. You've shown that. You got a pattern. So I wouldn't even stress that. If you get Juju, great. That's a freshman. Those freshmen can win. But you can go in and get you a good QB out the portal. 7 teams have done it. Miami is doing it. A couple of other teams have actually done it. So don't worry about that. You'll get what you need.
I actually 614 startups. What's up, man? It's been a minute. He says 666 means they let 2 wins slip through their fingers. I would like to know what those 2 wins would be.
That's my question. Which
yeah,
one
I would like to know what those 2 wins would be, but I have them at 8-4. So I think 6-6 will be a good place where Colorado can kind of fend off some of the crazy talk. And but 8-4. 8-4 would definitely give them respect and possibly start getting them into the conversation of being preseason ranked on some of these polls. 8-4 would definitely do that for them, because that means that they have defied a lot of expectations and defied a lot of things. But also, I wanted to Boyd said, if I'm saying that right, I got a notification today that Juju's rating has already dropped to 4-star. So usually when they drop a rating, that means that the player has already made the decision to go to Colorado. If I'm not mistaken, every time a player makes a decision to go to Colorado, on 3 drops them 1 star. I don't know what's happening. You haven't heard that he's made a decision yet, right?
No, I haven't. But can I just tell folks this? Understand, and I'd love to hear Talking to Town podcast coming up on and add and explain why would 9-3 be the floor. Like, if you sit back and match it up, and that's not just a matchup between, wide receiver upon DBs or stuff like that, but you also look trench to trench, then what will it be? Who your 3 losses. But as far as recruiting, folks, recruiting is a dirty, nasty game. Some of this stuff is directed against Prime, but some of this stuff is all about how dirty and nasty that recruiting can be with programs having boosters and programs, coaches not liking each other and stuff like that. Because I know we like to see coaches as being nice, but you got to understand, a lot of them do not like each other. A lot of them hate each other. So understand that. And you also have to understand is that, like, for example, unpack why you think Miami is no longer the Miami of back in the day, or that Bama took a big hit, or Tennessee dropped. All of it had to do with NCAA violations, scandals, and stuff. That's what Arizona State is. So I get it. There are some things that are intentionally directed at Coach Prime. That is true. Some things. But a lot of this stuff, it's been nasty for years.
But Juju being the most coveted quarterback for the 2025 cycle, why do you think they're dropping his star? Forget about Prime. Why would they drop his star?
Well, here's the thing. Somebody might have paid him to do it. I'm just saying.
It could be somebody that's about to get him, right? Like drop the star so that people can lose interest. You think that's possible?
well, somebody may have a connection. Say, I'll give you full detail to everything that's going on. Basically, I'll tell you the tea. But every once in a while, I need you to give me a favor to drop somebody so we have more of a chance to get them. And also, y'all have to understand, like when these kids go to visits, they get paid. When you see them sitting in a nice chair and stuff like that, sometimes they say, we'll give you $10,000 if you'll put on this jersey and sit in the chair. Watch this, Harry. If you were to go to Harvard, and so they said that weekend, if you put your son with our Harvard cleats on running on the track, we'll give you $10,000. What is your son going to do?
You said you'll pay me how much?
So you better put them cleats on.
Right.
Exactly. That's the way that goes. Even if you have no plan, you want to go to Yale, you still putting them cleats on. So I want y'all to understand a lot of these things is they do pay these kids for pictures because even if they don't make the kid doesn't come, by him posting it, hey, I'll give you $15,000 if you sit in this chair with our jersey and you're posting on your social media. Which one of y'all gonna stop your kids from doing it? I'm not.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you gotta get this money while you can, man, because you know what I'm saying. Like a lot of this stuff is youth stuff, man, and youth is always fleeting, right? You can't be youth forever, right? So Prime Effect wants to know Xavier Anderson, CU is making every team's owner pay out big money to try to stop them from winning that trophy. I just seen this. All right, Xavier Smith, explain yourself. And then 614 Startups give us his two teams that could be a slip up if we lose to them will be UCF and Texas Tech. 614, I don't know, man. Based on our analysis and what we've been talking about, I don't know that'll be a slip. I don't know that Texas Tech and UCF are kind of like they're not a win for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know that they're wins for sure. If CU can definitely compete with them and definitely could have a chance to beat them, but I don't know that if they lose, that'll be a slip.
Right, especially since both those games are one is at UCF and one is at Texas Tech. But I can understand why you're saying it. I would just sit back and say, those are going to be tough games. I think that if they let Arizona, if they slip one there, or basically, I will tell you, if they let a Baylor or Cincinnati slip, that's a slip.
Yeah, that's a slip. I don't know that Texas Tech and UCF are a slip. Baylor, Cincinnati. Once you start getting down here in the trenches, then that's where it gets ugly. All right, so I've been doing this since what? Appreciate the super chat. They are the only 32 5-star. Hold up, they are only 32 5-stars per class. There might be some players that they feel are better than Juju in his class. So have we heard of any quarterback that's actually better than Juju? I know we were recruiting a quarterback that decommitted from us, right? But I don't know that he was actually slated as better than Juju. Have you heard of any quarterback actually being better than Juju or that's being talked about more than Juju?
I will say this while I'm going back to look it up. I would say he is right on that. Sometimes they do reevaluate. But there was Juju, actually Bryce Underwood committed to LSU. He was number 1. Tavian St. Clair committed to Iowa State. He was 2, and Juju is the 3rd rated QB. I still have him at SC. So he wasn't the top, but he was up there. Now, I wonder if the person behind him, which is Longstreet, who is a QB committed to A&M, Texas A&M, I wonder if he moved down. But we shall see.
But is it okay? So are they rating based on all of the players, or don't they rate you based on the your quarterback or your position?
Well, they got rankings of all of them, like one through the top 300 is generally where you want to get players up. So, for example, the number one player doesn't have to necessarily be a QB. It could very well be a defensive end or something like that. But this, I just gave you the top list of positions, but I'll give you all if it'll let me. Well, the number one player in the nation is Bryce Underwood at LSU. Number two is he's a QB. Second is a QB to Ohio State. But third is the offensive tackle, David Sanders to Clemson. And then fourth is a cornerback to Ohio State. So you have a lot of that stuff. You can be up in the top three. You know, it's not always QB based, basically.
Okay. So I thought it was based on position, but yeah, okay.
You can do it by position, but yeah, what we be doing is right. Is that put like this? You're not gonna have a whole. He's right. You're not gonna have a whole lot of 5-stars, and even out of the 32 5-stars, all of those don't pan out. So getting them elite people, you know, that's a dog eat dog game, and some programs know they can't compete. That's what made Coach Prime special to go to a HBCU and do it. Get a 4 or 5, that's huge.
Right, because you don't get that many, right? You don't get that many.
Right, and if you do it, you will dominate the HBCU if you get a couple of those. So you're gonna kill. If you get a couple of 3s and 4s, you're gonna, because most of these kids are unranked.
And your actual where you get all of most of your players are from that 3-star ranking, for that 3-star bracket. So I mean, 5-star is something that you don't normally get, because those are your, those are supposed to be your top of the top, and those are the guys that you look to get from the NFL, NFL recruits and all of those. So, and then everybody else gonna have to joust for position or whatever. You want to play wins and losses with Iowa State? You ready to do some wins and losses? Let's take a crack at this thing and see how we do tonight. Oh man, and real soon I'll be putting up I'll be creating some graphics for what we have already talked about, and then I'm gonna put that up on the communities page to see how we did when the season comes up. All right, I'm gonna leave up I'm definitely gonna leave up the 2023 just in case we wanna go back to that. But let's look at the 2024 schedule and let's play wins and losses. All right, guys, we are, I don't know. I'm not going to call myself a professional yet. DC is probably more of a pro because he's been around here for a lot longer than I have. But, we're having some fun with this one. So don't go placing no bets based on this stuff, okay? I don't want nobody to lose their money. I don't want nobody to lose their money based on what I'm saying here. All right, but at least we're talking based on data. This is just some, talking out of nothing. So Talk of the Town podcast says Iowa State 5-7 this year. All right, so let's look at it. Let's look at it and see if we agree if we agree with Talk of the Town. All right, so I've already given them the first game, North Dakota fighting Hawks. Everybody is scheduling these teams just to get their first win off the season. What are your thoughts? I've given them this. I would say this is a W to start.
W to start.
All right. And how did they do with did they play Iowa Hawkeyes? Okay. Yes, they played Iowa Hawkeyes last year, lost 20-13 in 2023. They're gonna play them again. So they're playing the Iowa Hawkeyes again. Their second game of the season. They're playing them at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time on CBS. How do you see this game? Do you see this as do they take another L, or you think they're going to right the ship?
I think they right the ship on this one, honestly.
You think so?
Yep.
All right. So I don't know. I don't know for sure that they that the Hawkeyes take this L.
It'll be a fight. It'll be a fight.
Yeah, it'll be a fight. But I said let's. I'm giving them the loss, but let's get a let's see. Talk of the Town says week 2 L. All right, that's a tiebreaker. So Talk of the Town is going to be our tiebreaker. So we're giving them the L on this one. All right. So then they go to Arkansas State, the Red Wolves. How do you see the Arkansas State going against Iowa State, the Cyclones?
Win. Iowa. That's a win. That's a win. For against Arkansas State.
Okay.
Yes. Win.
All right, I'll give them the win too, based on their, I guess their recruiting information. But I would say I would give Iowa State the win on this one. I'm giving them the win against Houston. I'm giving them the win against Baylor. Stop me if you will. All right. So right now they are, what's that? They are 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 4-1 going into West. They're 4-1 going into West Virginia. Are you giving this one to West Virginia, or are you giving it to Iowa State?
Man. Woo! And they're in Morgantown.
Man, we've been beating West Virginia up for these past couple of shows, man. West Virginia is like our stepchild for now, man. I'm telling you, for the damn, bro.
Let's see what they did last year. Let's see.
Let's see what West Virginia did last year.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if I want to see if Iowa. How did they play West Virginia last year, and how did they do? Let's see.
So Iowa State did not play West Virginia last year.
Yeah, so
yeah, they had TCU last year. They beat TCU last year, 27-14. Yeah, they did not have West Virginia last year.
I still gotta give. I think they beat West Virginia.
Okay, so you see them beating West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yo, this is a tough one. This is a real tough one right here. Talk of the Town says L at week number 6 for West Virginia. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that was a toss up. But you know what? Let's go with that L. Let's go with that West Virginia.
Yeah, man. I'm thinking Iowa State takes the L with West Virginia, bro. So all right, so that's what's that? 4-2.
Yes.
All right, they're 4-2. They meet the UCF Knights. How you see this one shaping out?
Woo.
Did they play UCF in 2023?
I think they did. Let's see.
I don't see UCF on the schedule.
Let's see.
No UCF in 2023.
No, they didn't.
Did they not play?
See, I think that game.
Yo, this Big 12 is so annoying, yo. The heck Big 12 is such an annoying conference to be talking about.
Because like when I sit back and hear people say like, "Oh, we going 10-2 X, Y, and Z," it's like how. I'm not saying they can't. I just want to know how did you go through these schedules and take a look.
Like, where is where is the strong data that you pulled that says like this is gonna be like. Okay, well, you say the floor, right? You're saying like this is the worst it can do, right? So when Talk of the Town says the floor is 9 wins, I really want to know like how you easily got to 9 wins. I will really love to know, like, because I find it to be real tough to even like get through some of these games, because when you take a look at these teams, I don't know if people are really doing their homework based on the actual team. Because some of these teams have blood in their eyes. I'm telling you. I know Colorado, and then Colorado is replacing, based on like everybody else, Colorado is replacing a lot of guys. So, all right. Talk of the Town is helping us out saying L week number 6, UCF L. So what do you say? We gave them the L with West Virginia. Do you see UCF beating them? I'm going to say they beat UCF.
I gotta say they beat UCF because think about it. I get what, but talking. I get what Talk of Town is saying, but Iowa State's projected the Vegas line is 7.5.
Okay.
And I think that's a good thing. So it could be 5-7. I can't say that, but I will have to say they take UCF
I would say,
because it's a home game.
yeah, I say because they're playing in Jack Rice Stadium in Iowa, so I'll give them this win. It's going to be a tight game, but I'll give it to them. All right, West Virginia is going to beat them, but I don't know that UCF is going to beat them either. But hey, listen. It's not that UCF is not a good team. I just want to put that out there. UCF is a heck of a team, and they can easily win this game. But I'm going to give it to Iowa on this one. All right, and so that makes them what 5-2, right?
Yes,
that makes them 5-2. All right, and then they go to the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They get it off. They get a bye, right? This is like middle of the season now. Everybody's in November. All right, everybody's seeing how things have gone. They get some rest. They get healed a little bit. And then they go into Jack Trice Stadium. Jack Trice Stadium.
I think they get the win there too.
Okay. Do they get the win on this one? Texas Tech. Okay, I'm going to give them the win too. I'm going to give them the win, and that makes them 6-2. Wild Dog, what up with you, man? Let's see. Talk of the Town says L at Texas Tech, L at Kansas, win at yeah, I don't know. I think they get the win at Texas Tech. It's going to be a close one, but I say they're going to pull this one off. So. All right, was that 7-2 now? Oh no, yeah.
I believe it is
7-2. All right, they go to the Jayhawks.
No,
did they play the Jayhawks last year? Let's see. Did they play?
They lost last year.
They lost to the Jayhawks last year, 28-21 last year,
yes.
And they actually played at Jack Trice Stadium. I say they're gonna lose again. I'm saying
I'm gonna say the same thing too. I said
they're gonna lose again. That's 3 games they'll lose, so that's 7-3.
Yeah, but notice this: when you look back up there, they had a lot of 1-score games too. God, it's hard to pick out, man. I'm gonna tell you if you put money on stuff, you might want to stay away from the Big 12 because you can do. Especially if you're going with the lines, if you're going head up, fine. But I would not, and that would be entertainment purposes only. I would not fool with this conference at all.
Yeah. This conference is probably going to be one of the toughest conferences to put money on, and really think you're going to be in a solid position. Go to the SEC. Go to the SEC and go bet your money there. But I think they're 6-3 though, because we got too many. Wait, how many more games we got? 1, 2, 3, right? So if there's are they 6-3 or not, or 7-3?
We got 3 more to go. Yeah, so it's 6-3 because we got
6-3. Because they take the L with Kansas, so that's 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right, and then they go to Cincinnati. I say they beat Cincinnati.
Right, 7-3.
So that's 7-3. They go to Utah. The Utah gets the win on there. So that'll be what, 7-4.
Yeah, 7-4. I'm saying Kansas State will beat them. Will make them 7-5. What they did beat K-State last year though.
K-State beats them, you think?
I think K-State beats them. Yes.
All right, so they beat K-State last year 42-35.
Yes.
But you think K-State beats them, gets the revenge win?
Yes.
All right. Wow, that's a tough one for me. All right, Wild Dog, what do you think? Well, let me hear from Wild Dog. What they podcast say? What they let me see. All right, so K-State. Oh, they take the L. All right, so Talk of the Town podcast says they take the L. I'm thinking to take the L too, man. I'm telling you. Let me hear from Wild Dog. Wild Dog, what do you think? Who you can be the tiebreaker? Is it a tiebreaker? Because you said that K-State is winning, right?
Yes.
And I think K-State is losing. I think K-State's yeah, this is gonna be a tough game though.
Yeah. But notice I always look at that home like we've been doing this right. I always look at that home advantage because you know the home field advantage does
November
play.
when you get to November, your last game before the championship, like, yeah, man, that might be a big thing for them. This is the last game. Yeah. So I'll give it to them. I'll give them to them. Just maybe a 3 or 7 point game advantage Iowa.
Yeah, so, well, I could see that. To what that will put them at what 6-6.
Yeah, that throws them at 6. Are they? No, they're already at 7. Aren't they?
So I put them at 7-5.
7-5. We put them at 7-5. This said Laws. Okay, so Wild Dog says Laws versus K-State. So right now it's tied. We need one more. If you and I say win, and podcast says Laws, Wild Dog says Laws, we need one person to vote.
Come on, Prime Effect, help us out.
We need one person to throw in a vote. Wild Dog says K-State will be rolling. This is the last game of the season, and K-State, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to change my mind, but Wild Dog has a point there. But keep in mind, man, this is like Saturday, November 30th. This is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has already been through the gauntlet. Everybody's been through the fire. And now you're just playing what if playoff implications are on the line? If you stack it up and you say playoff implications are on the line, Big 12 championship is on the line, how do you take this? Promise Fest said K-State wins.
Well, there you have it.
All right.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can definitely see it. But, man, they're playing at Jack Trice at home, final game. Their playoff implications could be on the line. Like, their playoff hopes could be on the line and everything.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing about this league. They could very well beat each other up so much. It's that you might have an 8-4 team in the Big 12 championship. You might even, I don't think you could get a 7-5. They're doing head-to-head competition. I think mathematically it's possible, but I mean, y'all sit back and see this is not easy.
Not at all.
So we are looking at, because Iowa State, what is on that list, they were picked to be around like 5th, to finish in the conference. 7-5 probably does get you in it. 7-5 would get you right in that window.
Wait, you think 7-5 gets them in where?
Remember when you had the schedule up and it showed that they were projected in the conference number 5? I think 7-5 would put them at number 5 in the Big 12.
Oh, you talking about Iowa State?
Yes.
So Iowa State is preseason ranked number 7. I mean number 6.
6. That what 7-5 will put them right in there. So that would be accurate.
So that would be so. What did we just say? They were 7-5?
Well, I'm saying 7-5, but I think because Prime Effect gave it to K-State the win, so that broke the tie. So that would be what 7-5.
That'll be what 6-6 or what? What do we?
It would be 7-5 because I got wins at.
All right, let's go back. We got all right, we gave them North Dakota State. We said that they're gonna lose to Iowa, right? So they're 1-1. They go to Arkansas, they're gonna win that game. They're 2-1. They're gonna beat Houston, they're 3-1. They're gonna beat Baylor, they're 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they lost at West Virginia. They're 4-2. UCF, how do we do? How do we give them to UCF?
I think we had them losing.
All right. So UCF, so now they're 4-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Texas Tech.
We had them winning that one.
All right. So they're 5-3.
We had them losing to Kansas.
All right. So they're 5-4. They beat.
Right.
They're 6-4. They lose and they lose.
Okay, whatever it is, right? 7. Well, I guess because I didn't give them Iowa, but you guys, I gave them beating Iowa, but you guys had them losing Iowa. So yeah, 6-6, 6-6.
What do you mean? You had them losing? Wait, you said Cincinnati. They win Cincinnati. They beat Cincinnati, right?
Yeah. When I did my initial ranking, schedule. I had them beating Iowa, but with them losing to Iowa, yeah, that would have them at 6-6. So yeah, I can see that 6-6, 7-5. I can easily see that, but 7-5 will get them ranked right around where you're talking about finishing in the conference.
All right, so we 6-6. All right, thank you, Talk of the Town podcast. All right, so we have them at 6-6. Talk of the Town had them at 5-7. Mm-hmm. All right, so 6-6 is where we have them at. 6-6 will put them. Would drop them down 1 or no?
I think
right now they're ranked.
I think it would drop them down 1. I do think it would. I think because you would move West Virginia up and you would move them down. So yeah, that would make sense. Well, no, matter of fact, you moved down too because you had them. No, we had them beating you. No, we had them losing to UCF.
They lost to UCF. Yeah.
Right. So somewhere around 8, 7, 8. It'd be somewhere around that.
Now, do you think Colorado is only going up? Like only has upside?
When you say that, do you mean that? Do I think they go from 11 to like? Are you saying do you see them going to 6 or 5?
Right. How many spots? Let me make that question a little easier. How many spots do you see Colorado jumping by the end of the season? This also plays into what you think your Colorado preseason predictions are. Win losses predictions. I have them at 8-4. So, but where do you see? How many spots do you realistically see them jumping?
Possibly 3.
All right, so they'll be right in this 8th spot. So they go 1, 2, 3. They'll be right in the 8th spot. You're saying?
Yeah, but that will get you if they plan on going to a bowl game. That will put you right in that window, being 6-6. The Vegas has them at 5.5 games. So I mean, you will be right there, 6-6.
So prime fact, you said you got them in top 10. They're only jumping. If you got them top 10, they're only jumping 1 spot.
Prime fact, you must be. Are you saying top 10 for all? Because we're talking about within the Big 12,
right? Within the Big 12. Let's make sure we clear this up. Yeah. Are they going to be top 10 in college football, or are they top 10 in the Big 12? Let's make sure we clear that up. So,
well, continue. Go ahead.
No, so I mean, this is where okay. So if I have them at 8-4, then that means they are 1, 2, 3, 4. Then that means they're taking Oklahoma State, right?
You got them probably at around 5 if you're saying 8-4.
All right, so they're gonna be like taking Arizona's spot.
Somewhere around that, yes.
All right, so Wild Dog is already. Oh, okay. So Prime Effect 101 is saying top 10 college football. Period. Where do you see this? I'm not laughing because I don't believe you. It's like where, but I want to know where is it? Okay, help me out. Where DC? Where is top 10 in college football? What does that record look like? I'm not that good at math, so y'all help me out.
All right. So basically, top 12 means you
Top 10,
are
top 10.
top 10 means you are up there with Georgia, Ohio State, Texas Longhorn, Oregon, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Bama, Missouri, Utah, Michigan, 11 Seminoles. So 11, well, top 10. So you basically are saying beyond a shadow of a doubt that they win the Big 12. That's what you'd be saying. And if they
Let's
won the
look at
Big
Joe
12, they
Class.
would be.
Let's look at Joe Class top 10. Joe Class top 10. One of these teams got to be knocked out. Who is Colorado knocking out for top 10?
You'd have to knock out in your conference. The highest one is Utah. So you basically are saying right now we are better than the preseason number 6. So also take a look at what you are saying in that too. That will mean that you I like to see. I would like to see. So if you're in the top 10, well let's make this easy by prima facie and the chat. Take the top 10. If you're saying Colorado is going to be 10-2 or win the Big 12, where are you putting them? Give me a rank. Give us a rank.
Let's bring in Tennis, because Tennis wants to join this conversation. Hey, Tennis, welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
Hey guys, sorry I'm a little late, but Harry, were you late?
It's all well.
Okay. Yeah, man, this is good, man. I'm liking this stuff.
So Willie, let me ask you. Prime Effect 101 is saying Colorado's top 10 in college football. We got to knock out one of these guys. We got to knock out. We got to knock out Utah, right? Number 6.
Yeah. Remember, I've got them at 10-2. So the toss-ups that I had on the 10-2 was Utah and K-State. Those are the two toss-ups. So if we don't beat Utah, then we stand a chance of but because you got to remember, there's going to be a lot of surprises in this conference. Like you were saying before, Harry, we're going to win some games that we probably shouldn't win and lose some games that we shouldn't lose. So we got to kind of configure that into the whole thing.
So if we're top 10, we're in that number 6 spot.
Okay. I don't, you mean nationally?
Prime Effect 101 has Colorado top 10 in college football. We're just kind of diverting to that conversation right now. And I'm saying, I just got up Joe Klatz. We don't have the AP. I don't have the AP poll, but if we're looking at top 10 in college football, just using this Joe Klatt, I guess, ranking or postseason ranking, preseason ranking, then Colorado is number 6 in the country. Do you see that?
No, there's too many other variables, too many other things that can happen. Even though they can have a winning record and maybe qualify for it in our eyes, but they got too many other variables that.
What would be the variable? Because if you win your conference, then you're in the playoffs. So if we win the conference, that means that OU is out. That means we beat OU, right, DC?
That would mean that you may not have beat Utah head to head, but you definitely beat everybody as far as you won the conference. So I think what's happening right now is that, like, when we say 10-2 or even 9-3, because understand at the end of the year there were some 9-3 ranked teams. Of course, we're adding that bowl game, whatever it is. So if we're going to look at this and we're going to say, okay, take the first doggone column. Is Colorado better than those 5 teams? Ohio State, Georgia, Texas, Oregon, and Ole Miss.
I would have to humbly say no.
Okay, really? What would you say?
Opinion.
Yeah. What would you say?
Call them out again.
Okay, and that would say the
on your screen. If you're not looking at the screen, it's Ohio, Georgia, Texas, Oregon, Ole Miss.
That's 1 to 5, what they believe is posted. And understand, it's not to trash or anything like that. We're just looking at where would you say, because if we're going to say 10-2 and 11-1 records, you're somewhere on this list. So I guess for conversation's sake, is Colorado? So the top 5 is
Right. If we're
in
top
order.
10, where are we sitting at?
Yeah, where are you sitting at? Yeah. Who are you who are where are you sitting?
Okay. Let me see. Wow, some good teams up there, dude. But I would say we're sitting at number 10. Who's number 10? I think it's Missouri.
Yes.
Yeah. I would put us at number 10. Because I think we'll stand a better chance of beating Missouri than the rest of these other guys.
Okay. But
we win
Utah
if
is
we
6.
win our conference. If we win our conference, right? Can we win our conference and OU still be ranked top 10?
Well, Utah is 6, so that wouldn't work. You would basically say that so is Utah there, or basically we would take Utah, maybe let's say push them to another slot. But basically what you're saying is that, but I can roll with that. If you're saying Colorado, like Prime Effect says, a top 10 team, you're saying they would be 10, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly. I feel more comfortable.
So you don't think?
Other one.
Okay.
Well, other guys
y'all got to answer my question. Is it possible for us to be number 10 and OU still be ranked top 10?
To be Utah? No, this is not possible for them to be. I think for Utah to be 6. Well, no, it is possible. It's possible.
What is the possibility, or what does it look like for Utah to be number 6 and for Colorado to be number 10, knocking out Miss?
Oh, you know what? They play head to head, and even if they play head to head and then played each other in the Big 12, man,
exactly. I see that.
We play Utah.
Yeah, I know.
You would have to basically come into. Well, basically, you would have to beat them. You would have to beat them head to head, and then turn around and beat them in the Big 12.
Yeah.
So we play Utah third to last game. We beat them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you say we go to the playoffs. I mean, we go to the championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we beat them again.
That would be how you get ahead of them. And then
we're not getting ahead of them. That's not the question. The question is, how can they still be ranked number 6 and we
They won't be 6. They won't be 6. That is that won't happen. You will wind up being in there, and let's say Utah would probably move somewhere further back if that was the case.
So they'll be like within that 16 to 25 ranking, right?
Right. I don't see them making the playoffs. I think they are just, out of the top 12.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so yeah, that's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one. All right, so final question: do we see if CU meets Iowa? Because that's what's on the menu today. If CU meets Iowa State in the Big 12 championship, who gets the W?
I got to go with CU. Those boys are hungry, man.
Oh yeah, and Iowa State's not hungry at all, right?
I'm sure they're hungry, but it depends who's more hungry.
I'll tell you this: if Colorado gets to the Big 12, they win. If they get to the championship game, I believe they'll win. That would have said that you have gone through a gauntlet of teams. You ended up hopefully you didn't limp into it with a lot of injuries. But if they get to the Big 12 championship team, I could see them winning.
I like the path you took to that answer, and the reason why I like that path is because let's just look at CU's let's look at CU's schedule real quick. All right, we're gonna have to knock off K-State, Arizona, Cincinnati. Well, not Cincinnati, but Texas Tech, Utah. We knock off all these teams, right? And then we get to that championship. I can see I see us beating this team, and not just beating this team, but I see us handily beating Iowa State.
Can I just go? I'll say this: if you beat all those teams and you don't limp into it, you beat them. Ain't no funny business, something like that. not only do I believe you win that game, Shedeur wins the Heisman.
Okay, I would also say that
Shedeur wait, hold on. Let's not let that slide. wait. We get into that. We get into the Big 12 championship, and we beat Iowa State. Shedeur wins the Heisman.
Yes.
Can you expound on that just a little bit?
Well, now I'm gonna say this. The tricky part is, will he get enough votes? Because SEC and Big 10 bias is a real thing, and so voters in the Southeast and this stuff, they generally, they gonna vote where they are. Like for example, Paul Feinbaum is a Heisman voter. You're probably not gonna get that.
You already know he's not voting for Shedeur. You already know where that vote is going.
He might vote him third, but he's not gonna vote him number one. That being the thing. But I think if they do, and I agree we've been doing this, but I think if they win all those games and win the Big 12, Shedeur would get the Heisman. I just don't. But folks, I also got to sit here and say is that just like 614 Starters is bringing, you do have a brand spanking new DC. So, but we're just having a conversation.
614 Starters says he can't see Livingston coaching a championship defense in year one.
Okay,
I don't know, man.
I'm not going down that path. I got it. It's unlikely, but what we're saying is
man.
Put 614 on the spot. Can he do it? Hey, can you do it, baby?
Wait, what? Can he do it? What are you talking about?
Do it.
You mean can he coach?
Can he coach the defense?
Come on, Willie. Don't do that. Right. Don't do that. Can you coach?
Put it like this. I'll change my thing is. I know we're ending, so this won't be a grenade, but it will be a great talking point. I won't say, let me change it. I don't think he'll win it. I think it's highly likely he'll win it, but I do definitely think he'll be sitting there as a Heisman candidate. It all depends on what other people do. Because think about this. As phenomenal as Coach Prime was in college, he didn't make it to New York. I think he finished 8th in the Heisman voting. As good as he was, because there was some. Y'all know about what Willie. Back in the day, man, there was some.
But wait. How often did they? Because the video that I did about the Heisman guys, how often did DBs win the Heisman? I don't remember too many.
They don't. Right.
Yeah.
You had Charles Woodson. But what I would say is that I think that he's in there, but the problem comes on that team is, it's always difficult when, it's happened at Bama, but it's always difficult when you have somebody else on the team that has the spotlight too, which being Travis Hunter. So, for example, if Shedeur is throwing Heisman numbers, more than likely he's throwing to Travis, who's getting him Heisman number. If Travis is getting like 5 and 6 picks and stuff like that, then I think they give it to Travis.
But you bring up a good point, though, and I want to talk about this. Let's talk about this a little bit before we go. Let's say Shedeur puts up Heisman numbers, but he has so much, because the media is who votes on these things, right? Shedeur puts, he has these Heisman numbers, and then he has to go to the media to get votes. Do you think there's enough detractors in the media to keep him out just because they don't want to hear Coach Prime talk?
No, I don't think so.
No. Before you get to a quick answer, I want you to think about the reality of what I'm talking about. I don't want you to jump to a quick answer. Think about the fact that the media have a secret hate for Coach Prime because they think he's bombastic. They think he's too. They think he just says anything. Everything that they're saying about the media hates about Coach Prime. Think about that because they vote for the Heisman. Do you think that's a real thing where they don't want to hear Coach Prime boast? It's a real question. It's a good question because DC brings it up, and now it's got me thinking. Like, wait a minute. if Shedeur puts up these Heisman numbers, is there a chance they keep him out just because they don't like Coach Prime?
No, I don't. I won't give them that much of power. I will give them some power, but I will not give them that much of power. If the man have an outstanding year, and there's some detractors there or haters there, they got to give him his due, whether they hate Prime.
They ain't got to do nothing. They ain't got to do nothing.
Then
I want to explore if there's a chance, but give me a reason why you say they got to do it. And if what if they don't? What would be the recourse?
There aren't any recourse. If they don't do it, if they have that much power, they can do it. There's nothing he can do about it.
Explore it. I want you to explore the scenario.
I'm trying to, but what he's gonna do? He's gonna fight against them. Say, well, look, let's get a recount. He's gonna demand a recount. I see what you're saying, Harry. I see what you're saying, Harry. But go ahead, DC.
So the thing you have that Shedeur will have to deal with is Harry is talking about the elephant in the room. Okay?
Right.
There are some people that will be favorable. There are people that are neutral, and there are people that are negative. So, and you got to go to all these folks. And again, we already talked about the Big Ten and SEC bias. We haven't even talked into the negativity bias towards Coach Prime.
For Coach Prime, right? That's a real thing.
So what you are, in order for that to happen, you're gonna have to have Carson Beck to not do well, Ewers to not do that great, Milroe to not do that great on the Big Ten side. Just to expedite the conversation, some of the big players in the Big Ten as well as the ACC. So you have to factor in that. I mean, even in your own conference, you got Ollie Gordon. If he goes for 2,000 yards as a back, you got to kind of look at that. But again, the only way that Shedeur can really seal it is if he does Big 12. If not, I think he has not won over the press like Harry saying as a piece of it. I don't think he's won all of them over.
He hasn't.
So saying it, speaking it, since you put it that way, I could see that the other quarterback got to have a less than stellar year, so for them to say, well, okay, if they would use a reason why they would do it, well, because this guy had more numbers than him. Yeah, I could see it. I could see that.
Hey, talk off the town. This is not about what they're gonna say. We're not talking about what they're going to say. They have their say in the booth. I'm talking about their say as far as their votes, because the media votes for Heisman. So they're going to have their say. So if they have their say, he could definitely put up numbers, because you know how it gets weird when you start explaining, like nobody's going to explain their votes, right? It gets weird because like DC said, if any of these guys in the SEC, the Big Ten, if any of those guys have a decent season, I'm not talking about stellar. If they have a decent season and Colorado Shedeur has a stellar season, it's real easy to enact that SEC bias, that Big Ten bias, and then that media and hate bias is going to kick in too, because what are you going to say? You're going to say, oh, Carson Beck, look what numbers he put up. It's easy to explain that. And look what the conference, the type of conference that he was in. They'll start bringing up all these crazy talking points and start saying all of these things that you can't argue against. How can you argue against somebody who put up really good numbers in the SEC versus somebody who had a stellar season in the Big 12? You'll be here all day trying to hurt your head, trying to argue against that.
Right, and Colorado fans, that's why I'm warning you that when you sit back and say, well, the Big 12 is not as hard as the Pac-12, you basically are giving them the crane to move the goalpost when you do that. You cannot say, you want to go ahead and say Big 12 is the hardest conference ever. That's what you want to say. Do not ever say that.
Who wants to say that?
Well, I've seen people say, why they can make their rankings is because the Big 12 is not as hard as the Pac-12, which in theory that's true. But when you sit back and say it's not as good of a conference, so they're easy. Pac-12 is not that great of a conference. Where I've seen people use that to justify their high predictions. You also have to mean that's a knife that cuts both ways. That, hey, if somebody is 10-2 at Georgia and you're 10-2 at Big 12, and that person has 4,200 yards, and but you might have 4,300 yards. You still are saying this person has played against by Big 12 being lesser competition. So you got to wipe that out your vocabulary and say Big 12 is the hardest conference there is, even if that's not necessarily 1,000% true. Don't say it's the weakest one.
Well, remember we had a conversation. We broke down the conferences, right? I think we ranked Big 12 as the third hardest, behind, like maybe a little bit slightly in front of the ACC, right? So I don't know that. I haven't heard any conversations out there amongst college football talking heads that says anywhere that Big 12 is even number 2, let alone the best, let alone the toughest conference. I don't know. I don't even know the amateurs are having that conversation.
I've seen quite a couple of them of saying that, but I would say that probably is not the way to go. Because you're talking about when you start looking at these PFFs. See, that's the game when you start looking at all those things, the PFFs, and when you start ranking and say, well, I feel this person should be here, I feel this person should be there, or saying, hey, we should be at a certain ranking within the Big 12 because the Big 12 is not all that great. Or you say the Big 12 doesn't have good quarterbacks. That hurts Travis in the Heisman vote because you're saying he ain't going up against solid competition. So you got to be careful.
Hold up. Are you talking about the fan vote, or are you talking about, because the fans don't really get we don't have no say in this.
No, I agree with that. Now I will sit back and say is again, Stacy is right. You
Hey, Stacy Ephraim, how you doing today? Hope all is well.
Yeah. Harry, like I said, that's going to be hopefully that's a conversation we will be having at the end of the year. But man, I'm going to tell you, if Shedeur does have the numbers and if he don't even get to New York, I think Dion
is going to go crazy.
Oh God,
I don't know if they want that draft on their heads, because so on one side of the coin, you don't want to give Dion anything to talk about. You don't want to give Prime anything to talk about. On the other side of that coin, if he has the numbers and you don't vote him in, then you're going to get his wrath. So how do you even deal with that? How do you deal with either side of that coin?
Bro, all I know is if that happens, TLP probably will have 50,000 followers. There's gonna be a lot to talk about.
Everybody and their mama gonna be talking. Wow, yeah, that's gonna be something to think about. Let me show you guys the list one more time where we are. Let me go ahead and show you the list. If you guys are looking to join the conversation on next time, this is what we're looking at for next week, or actually on Friday, not next week, just on Friday, guys. We're almost done with this list. We are down. We're down to number 7, West Virginia. If Colorado meets West Virginia in the Big 12 championship, who wins? And Colorado, we're going to be looking at West Virginia. We're going to be taking a much closer look at West Virginia. Okay. Today, we took a look at Iowa, guys. Iowa State. We took a look at Iowa State. You see what they lost in the transfer portal. Give me 1 second, guys.
West Virginia.
We took a look at Iowa State, and I'll just remind you real quick on who they lost in the transfer portal. That's their losses and their additions to that transfer portal. We looked at their key players on the offensive side of the ball. All right. And then we're taking a look at their pass catchers and a slight look on their offensive line. We didn't really talk too much about this. I had this graphic up. We didn't talk too much about this, But if you take a look at their average height on their offensive line, bro, the average one guy. Wait, what is this height? 6'9", 2'6'9" guys, 2'6'5" guys, and 1'6'4". If anybody knows how to do averages real quick, I'm thinking that's averaging 6'5".
Okay,
right?
Harry.
That's on their offensive line.
Harry, no, I need you to go put back on the bandwagon buff glasses and stop looking at that, because I'm just telling you, when y'all start digging into them lines, you're gonna be sitting up here going, okay, maybe it's not gonna be a block bully, maybe it'll be a block meanie, or maybe a block angry, not bully, because you're not gonna necessarily. I mean, you might get one or saying, well, they're going to double team him. A dude that's 6'9" and 315 can just stand in front of you. Y'all do realize that. And if the minute he comes into you and you kind of grab that jersey, not outwardly, but you can kind of, on the inside where the refs can't see it, you're not getting around a dude that big. Or at least, and if you do, you're not able to get your hands up to get a quarterback hurry or knock down a pass. That right there, those are things I would advise people, as well as go look at Oklahoma State too. Not saying Colorado will not do well in this conference. I'm just saying I'm gonna keep it real. Saying 11-1 and 10-2, and you haven't dug into these teams, you guessing.
That's why we're digging into these teams, because I want to show the reality of what we're facing. I don't do these videos just because they're getting a lot of views. Like, these are the least views videos that I've done, but this is the nitty gritty stuff here. All right, this is like, don't hide your hand in the sand, right? Like, don't hide your head between your tails. Is if you see it, let's look at them. Let's not hide, because you're 6'9". All right, Jalen Travis, 6'9". Jared Hufford, 6'5". Jim, 6'5". Brandon, 6'4". And you got Tyler Miller, 6'9". That's on their freaking offensive line.
Okay, question.
Mm-hmm.
Does speed matter? We have listen. No, really, seriously. Speed, you can go around these guys. DC said you can't go around them, but if they're 6'9" or 6'5",
that's the Great Wall of Iowa.
If we got this, our tallest man is 6'5" and he's got speed, he'll get around them. He may not go through him, but he'll find a way. These guys we've been watching play, they'll get around them. So you have to consider. Does CU have a team that has more speed than these guys? Right now, I'm gonna just say it out loud. Size don't matter. I'm looking at team speed.
No, it will matter. It will matter in the fourth quarter. I'm gonna tell you that now. Speed is good, but when somebody's been leaning on you all game, it's gonna matter in that fourth quarter. And you got to understand, if you got a pulling guard that's coming around there and smacking you in the mouth over and over again, because anybody in their right mind is not going to come up here, and anybody in their right mind is not going to come up here and beat the and get into a shootout with Colorado. That plays into their strength. They're going to try to misdirection you, and when you have big people like that, so Willie is right in theory. You're right. You can speed can kill. But understand, this is the same line that played Texas to 10 points.
Stacy says Tank was 6'10" and he was sorry. We're not just talking about just being a size, right? Wild Dog said Tank.
He did Tank.
But that's why we have.
We had Savion Washington was 6'8", right? He was 6.
But this is where depth comes in. That if you got a team that has some depth, that one you're gonna need to put some people in there. And like I said, the speed's not going to be that off. That when you got somebody coming off the bench that's maybe not as fast as your number one or whatever, but he has the speed that's going to cause these guys a issue. While that guy's taking a break, the other one comes on in.
But keep in mind, hey, Willie, all that stuff you're saying, keep in mind that's theory. You're talking about theory versus reality, okay? Because if we look at this 2023 schedule, this ain't no. What you're saying is in theory is true, but look at the record in 2023. So it ain't like, oh, you just say, well, we got speed. You're saying in theory that if we have fast guys, we can get around that Great Wall of Iowa, right? Iowa State.
Yes, you can.
But that's a theory. That's not the reality of CU.
But that's a fact. If what we have is speed, that's a fact.
You said if.
Let's go there.
You're saying if we got the speed to get around those guys, if. But the question is, if we look into the data, how was the Texas Longhorns, how was their speed on their defense? You see what I'm saying? Like, those are things that we got to look at. We can't throw around hypotheticals and say it's a reality for CU. We cannot do that.
Go there. Well, Harry, I will go there. I will go there. So
let's go there. We got I'll allow a few minutes for us to go there.
Right. So what we're saying is right now, because all I would say is if goes both ways. You can't just use if for your argument and not allow somebody else to use it. So let's go both ways. Speed kills and that. So let's, like we did with the schedule, rubber meets the road. So you're saying Colorado has the speed to beat an O-line like this? Yes or no?
To challenge them. They're not going
to No. So I'm saying overall the game. I'm not talking about every single play. Are we saying that Colorado has, and I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying, do you have to say that Colorado has the speed on the defensive line to fly past? Because Iowa State is not the only one that has a line like this. You're saying that Iowa State, that Colorado has the speed, and I saw what DD in the chat said, and the depth that for all four quarters, you might get beat a couple of times, but that you can wind up beating them.
I'm saying this year, yeah. Last year we didn't.
Okay.
This year, I'm saying based on what I've seen, we do have it. I'll bank on that any day. Based on what
have you watched
last
it?
Year,
right. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you and others. Have y'all watched the Iowa State game?
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
I think I watched the Iowa State when they played. West Virginia or what?
Because I have not watched Iowa State fully.
They didn't play West Virginia last year.
But I did watch Iowa's. But I did watch Texas defense. And if this line was able to hold with that defense, this is not a bad line. I'm not saying that Colorado doesn't have the talent by any means. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying is that, that you're saying overall from what you've seen, you believe, regardless of whether you've seen it or not, you have full confidence that on the defensive side, Colorado can beat.
I think Willie, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I think Willie's just talking theory.
No,
I think we're talking more theory than you're talking reality.
Well, let's just say I'm talking facts.
You're not talking facts because if you were talking with facts, you have to throw some things out there, Willie. If you're talking with some facts, Willie, I would challenge you. Willie, I'm going to challenge you tonight and say, if you're talking with facts, throw out some names for me.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say then.
Don't talk in theory. You're not going to talk around this one.
Okay, I ain't going to
talk in facts and then throw out some names. Who you know.
Here's what I'm going to say. Since you're going to hold me to it.
I'm going to hold you to it, Willie. I'm going to challenge you tonight.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Here's how I'm going to get around that challenge. I'm going to agree with you. I look at this Utah line, what you have in front of them. They're big. They strong.
This is not Utah, man. This is.
Oh, okay. West Virginia.
Iowa State. It says Iowa State. It's on the thumbnail. We're talking about Iowa State tonight. Willie's on the wrong show.
No. This red team that we have here, that we're looking at right now,
Iowa State.
That's Iowa
Cyclones.
State. Okay, Iowa State Cyclones. They're big, they strong, they fast, and they're gonna mollywop you or see you.
What are you doing right now?
I'm looking at what you have here based on what you said. Based on this is the fact that I.
We're
have
not
right
saying
here.
we're not saying that. I think you're trying to say that in defense of something. We're not saying that. We're just saying defend your position. Don't play that game with me, Willie. You know better.
What are you saying? Okay,
I want to know what you're saying. I didn't say what you're saying. You're doing this thing. Don't do that thing that people do. I don't.
No.
You're not going to get away with it on TLP Sports. It's not going to work, Willie.
Looking at the facts that before me right now, I'm not coming up with any.
I'm just asking you to defend your position.
You wanted me to defend my position.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just asking you to just defend your position. That's it.
Like I heard somebody else say, "Well, give me a name. Give me a name." You know I ain't got no name, Terry.
Then you ask your team, Willie, how much information do you have on your own team? I've been doing videos for days. Do you even know your own team, Willie?
Listen, see, you want to hold me to names and everything. We got I'll look at our defensive line. I watch the stuff, but I don't know everybody's name. I watch them play.
Well, Willie, I just have one question though.
All right, Willie.
This is just I get it, and Willie, understand this.
Hey, DC, before you make your point, Willie, I want you to go back and learn your team tonight. Because the next time you come on TLP, I'm gonna need you to know your team, okay? At least know one person in each room.
Well, we don't even know these guys on Utah. We don't know these guys. We'll be looking at the picture.
Utah? What do you keep saying Utah? Who's Utah? This is the Cyclones.
The Cyclones or whatever. I'm looking at the colors of the jersey.
No. I'm not holding you to your Utah, even though they're Cyclones. I'm holding you to CU. I want everybody to please learn your team. We gotta. Okay, this is how you're gonna work out. You gotta know everybody, at least one person, one key player in each room. All right. On the defensive line, on the offensive line, in that wide receivers room, you are responsible for knowing at least one key player. All right, key player, starter, in every room. Is that fair to ask you?
Okay, no, you're prepared to ask me, but Harry, I've already done those things. I just don't have my notes in front of me.
No. I'm not saying go.
I've got my whole.
Don't Google no cheat sheet. All right.
No. This is Harry. This is something I did, man. Listen up. This is something.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm challenging you. Just know that brothers challenge each other. Every room. I need you to know the one player, one key player out of every room. All right. This is a challenge for you, Willie. You got to know one key player out of every room. Okay. Is that fair to ask?
Yeah, I'll just go and get my list because I got all of them written down. That's what I'm telling you. I got them already written down. I just don't have it in front of me.
All right, well,
most people do.
You're one of those guys that take notes in class, but you never go back to refer back to your notes.
So Willie, the question, the perspective is more so from this standpoint. Okay, I am all for. I think people should root for their teams, and you should cheer 1,000%. I'm all for that. But when I sit back and say, okay, well, I think Colorado will win 12-0. And then for me, I'm going to go, well, have you looked at the other teams? Because you can't make a prediction unless you have looked at what you're up against. Is that correct or not correct? Like, how can you know what you're going to do if you don't know what you're up against? You know what I mean?
Stacy,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Stacy. See, I don't watch the video. Shame on you, Stacy.
Right.
So Willie, we're pushing back. Right. Willie, we're pushing back tonight because you're watch the video. Hey, Willie, listen. Okay. You are one of okay. So you are in a group of people that really go hard for CU because. When we look at well-out videos, when we look at other videos, anytime myself, DC, or Phil, or anybody says something on this channel, people always comes against us. But then when we push back a little bit, we always come up empty. You see what I'm saying? Like, whenever there's a pushback, it's always, well, yeah, we're just gonna win. It can't be that way. There's gotta be something that you're like basing your information on, and I'm thinking that I'm doing a good enough job to where I'm bringing genuine research information, because I don't do these research by myself, right? I'm bringing genuine information to say, hey guys, let's look at the data together, right? And when I'm saying that, I know I don't get a lot of views on these videos, but I'm trying my best to try to make sure that everybody got something they can walk away with to see how we're going to do it. But it's not fair to me for people to be like, yo, Harry B, you're on the hate train. And I'm like, what hate train? All I'm doing is just saying, don't hide your head in the sand. All I'm saying is, let's look at the data together. If we're all going to get excited and say, oh yeah, CU's floor is 9-2 or 9 and whatever, right? 9-3. If CU's floor is 10-2, if we're going to say that, and I challenge us to say, as a fan base, to say, hey guys, let's look at the data together, then I shouldn't be the person that everybody comes against. Is it fair? Is it not fair to say, hey guys, let's look at the data together, Willie?
Now, do I look like a brother that's hiding my head in the sand?
No, I'm not.
No,
listen,
you don't.
Willie, you're off the hot seat. Willie, you're off the hot seat.
You see my eye there?
I took you off the hot seat. You're just a representative of the group of people that always comes against people like myself, DC Phil, sometimes Wild Dog. I just want to make sure that we are not the bad guys for just asking everybody to just look at the information.
Well, see, Harry, that's the thing I would say is that I totally get the fandom part of it. You should be fans. But let's say if you say 10-2 and you go, hey, I'm being a fan, and Prime Effect is making a good point. A casual fan can make casual assist predictions, and an analyst can. So let's talk to the casual fan. If a casual fan, I see 10-2, we going to the Big 12 championship. That's cool. If I say this is not what DC is saying, but if I say, I don't know, I do DC X, Y, and Z, I see 5-7, then that casual fan says, hater. Okay, well, wait a minute now. You're making a prediction based upon something that, and I do research. So if you're making a prediction based upon you want your team to win, nothing. But then if somebody says this and they said, because I'm looking, because notice I said, looking at a new DC, got a lot of new people in, meshing as a team that could affect you. Why do we call people haters who say 5-7 or 6-6, who have done or looked at the team and can name off stuff, but then it goes? So that's what I'm saying is that the fandom should say we ain't gonna lose a game. There's nothing problem with that. But if somebody says something different, why are they haters?
Right. Hey, Coach Barry, if you want to join the conversation, join tlplive@gmail.com. That's the email that you email. I put it right back on the screen for you. Just email me and I'll send you the link. I looked in the email. I'm not seeing your name in the email, so shoot me that email. But yeah, but I just, hey Willie, I apologize. I was not trying to put you on the hot seat, but I just want you to know, if you call me a brother and I'm a brother, I gotta challenge you every now and then and say, hey man, let's not be lazy fans, right? Listen, these videos and these lives that I'm doing, they have been if you go on my channel, look on the viewership. They're not even breaking 1,000 views, all right? So these are the least viewed videos that I've been doing. But you know why I keep doing it? Because I know that a lot of people are going to, at the end of the season, they're going to get that kick in their stomach again, like it happened last year, all right? And then because they're afraid to look at the data, they want to choir. They want the choir to be like, oh yeah, we're going to win. We pump you up, and then at the end, they're not really, they don't give Coach Prime the time, like DC said. They're not giving Coach Prime no time to fester, no time to grow. They're not giving him no grace. So I'm like, hey, if y'all really saying we're going to do this, then let's not be afraid to look at the information that's in front of us. And that's why I keep doing it, because I know that it's going to come a time where people are going to have to face the reality of this whole college football thing in the level that we are on. A lot of people don't want to do it. And unfortunately, I'm actually losing people when I talk like this. I'll lie to you not. Every time I talk like this, I lose people. But it's the reality of it. And it happens. For some crazy reason, people want to hear they want a channel that is all, pump it up. And I kind of refuse to do that this year. I don't want to just pump it up, and then people start talking poorly about Coach Prime at the end of the season. And I saw it right-handed. I saw it for myself. People who were all pump it up, they started being critical of Coach Prime, and that looked it kind of looked ugly for me, and I didn't like it. I have
a lot I could say about that, but you know what?
Don't say a lot. Say a little bit. Give me a little bit of what you're thinking.
I don't even have a lot. I got a lot and a little to say about it, but like like my man said in the movie, forget about all that. Let's just play crap. Okay, let's go.
I just want to make sure that everybody at the end of the season, they're taking a realistic look at this team.
Harry,
and let me say this real quick. This
what I'm telling
you. Hold on, Willie. Let me say this real quick. See, like, look, when we take a look at this, right? I think it was Phil. Phil sent me some graphic earlier today. I don't know if it was like the 2025 recruits or something like that with Georgia, and they were averaging 6'5", just their high school guys. I think averaging like 6'5". What's the name? So when we're taking a look at this, you look at the SEC, the Big 10, these guys are recruiting at this level because they have the money, they have the NIL, and they have the retention. You feel me? So they can keep a lot of these guys. We're looking for CU to get here, and the way that CU gets here is for us to start winning football games and winning them with good fashion. The second CU starts to win in good fashion, all of the extra talk like, Coach Prime is he's just for himself. All of that extra talk goes away because I'm ready to actually start having football conversations. All right. Like, I enjoy the football conversations, the extra talk, all the juicy stuff. I know those things gets a lot of views, but I'm ready for Colorado to step into a place where Coach Prime is respected. Number one, not just the fact that he got a gold jacket, but he's a really good coach. And he's not getting that because a lot of people are looking at other stuff. So I'm ready for that, for us to get to these type of numbers. That's what I'm looking at. Go ahead, Willie.
I went and got my notes, but I'm not going to even do that. You're right, Harry. I'm not going to even do that. You're right, brother. I should have been prepared. I should have been more ready. I guarantee you I will be next time. I'm going to have my notepads out here. I'm going to watch the video. I watched one of your videos the other night. Okay? So
just keep in mind, I'm not trying to force you to watch my videos. Okay? I don't want that to happen.
No. I watch it because I enjoy the information. Okay? I mean, it's information that I can look up, but I'm glad you're doing the work where I ain't got to look it up. That's good. That's a good thing. But I got my notes right here, everything right here. And I will be prepared and I will be ready next time. Okay. Make sense?
Yeah, no, I mean, but Willie, just understand that it's in love. It's not in trying to put you on the spot.
Does it make sense?
It makes sense. I want you to know that we're taking these panels when you go on there, we're taking them seriously. Yeah, and we just want to make sure that we understand that CU needs to, like, the CU fan base, we need to mature. I just want to put this out there. As a fan base, I feel like we need to mature and start, because I need people to start respecting us as football fans, not just like some, people calling us too many names, clowns and fanboys and all that stuff. I don't like that stuff. I don't know about you, but I don't like when people call us clowns and fanboys and we're delusional and stuff like that. That's why I have actually taken the approach that I've taken on my channel to make sure that I'm educating, that I'm not just educating y'all, but I'm educating myself, because when I get into these conversations, I want to make sure that, I can have a real football conversation. Like, all right, so if we met Iowa State, if we met the Cyclones in the Big 12 championship, you'll be able to know some of these names that's on your screen because we looked at it. You feel me? Because we dealt with them. So it's like, all right, so we looked at them. We know how they are. We know their numbers, and we can say, okay, we know what to expect in the game. Anyways, I'm not trying to.
But
Yeah, go
that's
ahead.
your information. Because here's what happened. Here's what I did. Do we play them this year?
No.
No,
Remember,
we
I
don't.
said
Okay.
Colorado
Listen,
does not play them. We're not doing this because Colorado plays everybody on.
So we don't play. So here's where my frame of thought was. We play 9 schools out of the 12. I did my research on those 9 schools. I didn't worry about Iowa State. I didn't worry about the other ones because we don't.
Willie, let me stop you. Let me stop you real quick, Willie. Slow down. Let me stop you real quick. Listen. Remember when you are coming on the panel, I introduced the shows. I don't want you to just be out here just whatever, right? I introduced the show. I said for the next couple of shows, we're going to be taking this right here. We're going to be taking the stuff that's on your screen, the Big 12 power rankings, and we're going to go through every team in case and try to find a path to Colorado getting to the Big 12 championship. When we get to the Big 12 championship, there's likelihood that we're going to meet one of these teams in the Big 12. So the reason why I'm doing this is to introduce the fan base to the Big 12 teams and see who they got. So some of these are we're repeating the information so that if we were to meet one of these teams, we're going to have to play them, even though we don't play them in 2024. The information that you're talking about, I'm actually doing a series previewing Colorado's opponents in 2024. Those are the videos that I'm doing. But on the lives, we're looking at every team in the Big 12 and seeing how we might shape up if we meet them. Fair?
So the only information that we have or that I have was if I watch your video, then that's going to give me all the information I need.
So I got one series.
But is that what you're saying, though, right?
Let me clear it up for you. I'm asking. And I'm clearing it up. I'm answering your question.
Okay.
I got one series that's previewing Colorado's 2024 schedule, right? That goes through all 12 teams, and I give you all the information on that. But on these lives, we're doing this. Okay. On the lives, we're going off of this right here. All right. The Big 12's preseason rankings. We're going through all of the teams. We did Iowa State today. On Friday, we're going to be dealing with West Virginia. All right. So Friday, we're going to be talking about West Virginia in case we meet West Virginia in that Big 12 championship, which is a reality because that's what the fan base is thinking, right? The fan base is saying we're going to win the Big 12, correct?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. So I'm saying, all right, cool. If that's the case, then if there's a path for us to get to that Big 12 championship, then let's look at all of the teams in the Big 12 in case we meet one of these guys. What's the likelihood of us beating them? And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I just wanted to make that clear, not just for you, but for everybody out there.
But Harry, that list you're looking at right now, I've already seen that list. I went through that whole list about a couple of weeks back when I first found out where I looked at all of this.
Okay. That's good.
I did that on my own. The information that you're giving, I've already read through it. I knew where we were ranked at and everything. I did that. I'm a student of the game. I do.
Willie, I'm not accusing you of not being a student of the game. Remember, you were trying to understand what I was doing. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm not saying you're not a student of the game.
But you asked me, brother, about CU. You asked me, the question was about CU. Well, name me 5, name me 2 on because I said
don't get offended, Willie. Don't get offended. Willie, go do your homework. West Virginia is next time. Let's not drag this on. West Virginia is on Friday. Go look up West Virginia and look up the information about West Virginia when we come. If you want to join the show on Friday, we're going to be talking about West Virginia, their schedule. We're going to do it exactly the same thing we've been doing for the last couple of shows. We're going to look at their schedule.
Oh, dude, I'm not going to just go with the information you just showed me here. I have other resources and other areas that I can go into that'll give you some information that you haven't even studied yet. That's good.
Saying. That's good, Willie.
And I can bring that. I'll bring that with me. You already got this. We already knew about this, right?
Well, like I said, so what we did today, we went over Iowa's schedule, West Virginia's schedule. We're going to be looking at their schedule. So look, if you look at this right here, this is what we're going to be looking at next week. All right. I mean, not next week, but on Friday, they're going to be playing the Penn State Nittany Lions. I keep thinking they're Nifty Lions. But yeah, but we're going to be looking at this on Friday, and we're going to do wins and losses. We're going to look at their schedule. We're going to do exactly what we just did for Iowa State today. We're going to be looking at West Virginia. That's cool? Fair enough?
Oh, I got it. Yes, sir. Got it, dude.
All right, man. Willie, man, I appreciate you for coming on the show, man. Let's get up out of here. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If Colorado gets to the Mr. William Berry just came on too late. Like, William, let me bring William on. Maybe William have something to say, because I don't want to just invite somebody. William, you're kind of late, but what's up, man? How you doing today?
What's going on, Harry B?
All is well. All is well. Hey, man. So we're looking at Colorado's path to this Big 12 championship. You feel me? So when Colorado gets to this, God willing, Colorado gets to the Big 12 championship, we're kind of trying to go down the list. You kind of came late. We're kind of signing off, but Colorado, we looked at Iowa State today. If you wanted to, shout out or say something, to the effect, then we can kind of get that in before we leave.
You got me on that one, but yeah, I mean, I see Colorado beating Iowa State. I used to go to Iowa State back in 1989.
Okay,
yeah, I was a Cyclone. But
so
yeah,
you were a Cyclone. Have you kept up with your football team over the years since you left?
No, I was only there for 1 year. Back in 80, I was what was it, 88? I graduated 88. Yeah, 88 to 89, 88 to 89. I only went there 1 year. So of course Iowa was always that was our rival, but they usually have a decent football team, but they ain't not gonna be no CU this year. That ain't gonna happen if they make it all the way. I believe CU gonna make it all the way for sure.
Well, just so you know, in the Big 12 just last year, they were 6-3 in Big 12 play. So they are a pretty your former Cyclones are a pretty big contender in the Big 3 in the Big 12. So they got this running back named Abu, and Abu is averaging like 7.3 yards per carry on an average.
They had a fairly decent team back in 88, 89, but they weren't super tough. But over the years, they might, I haven't kept up with Iowa State since then.
They've gotten pretty nice. They're pretty nice now, and they're coming short, a little bit short, but people are not really giving them a chance. But because of what they did last year, they're actually, they're recruiting pretty well. So
yeah. I was there when basketball-wise, it was Sam Mack, Victor Alexander, Mark Ball, and those guys. Matter of fact, Sam Mack made it to the NBA and won a championship with Akeem Olajuwon at Houston. Two years in a row, I think it was.
Oh wow, okay. So
yeah, but I haven't kept up with Iowa State, but I believe we'll get them. They might be. I just don't see us losing to Iowa State though. Even though that's a school I went to for a year.
So okay, let me put you on the spot like I did Willie. All right, and don't if you don't know, you don't know, right? But when you say you don't see us losing to Iowa State, is there one key aspect of Colorado's play that you see that you like? I like what I see in this room and in that room. It could be the running backs room, it could be the quarterbacks room, or it could be the receivers room. What exactly are you keying in on that says I don't see Iowa State beating Colorado?
I like all aspects of CU where they got better at every position. That's what I like. I mean, they stack. They really, they got some talent at every position. I'm talking about on offense, on the defense. I mean, with all those guys that came in, I've been watching them all spring and all summer.
Okay.
And they looking good. I mean, the offensive line, the defensive line, the wide receivers. I mean, we might have the best wide receiver trio in the country out there. Them dudes tough, man. You got Will Shepherd. You got LaJohntay Wester. Of course, you got Travis. You know, and then of course Jimmy is all he got to do is catch the ball because he got the speed out of this world.
I think Jimmy is actually one of the underrated one of the underrated players that we got on our receivers group. I don't think people talk well enough about Jimmy. I think he's one of those sleepers. I think I don't know if he deals with like confidence issues or whatever. I don't know if that's an issue for him, but I feel like he's a sleeper, and if he really can get his mind in the right place, then he might be a problem that people are not really paying attention to.
He challenged this year. That's the thing. He's challenged at the position, so he definitely know he got to step up. Because if he starts missing catches, he's gonna be sitting down. But that dude is quick as ever, and he's been making all his catches in the spring and summer. And I see him. He's gonna be like you say. I believe he's gonna be a sleeper. You're right. And remember now, we got some other players that's on there, the wide receivers on there that's gonna be getting a little. Amarion gonna get a little tick. You know, you know who's getting better? He's cracking me up. Caleb Mathis is getting better. Even though he ain't gonna get much time.
I don't know that people have really looked at Caleb Mathis because Caleb Mathis is a quiet assassin, and he's really one of the best route runners on our team. And Caleb Mathis is a sleeper. But guess what? Caleb Mathis is a young cat that's coming up. In year number 3, Caleb Mathis is going to be a starter. And that's when he's going to be dangerous. So people are not thinking about Caleb Mathis the right way. But I'm glad that you bring up Caleb Mathis because he's one of those guys that has been training, even though his dad is on the team, his dad's a coach, but he's one of those guys that's actually been training, and I've been watching him and looking at, how he does, but he is actually a great route runner that people don't give a lot of time to, but I think he's really going to come into prominence in year number 3. That's when he's getting better, he's getting stronger, he's getting bigger, just like Jimmy Horn got bigger and stronger. I think Caleb Mathis in year number 3, not this year, but year number 3, he's going to be a starter, and he's going to be one of those guys that he's going to be one of the guys in the Big 12 that people have to answer for.
Yeah.
I
wanted to say one last thing. I know y'all are probably tired of hearing about it, but Juju, I want to say something on here.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so first of all, I did say about a little bit over a week ago, I already said Farrakhan was coming. I saw it, and I saw it because I was reading all the articles and everything.
Okay.
Of course, Farrakhan is coming. Juju is coming for a fact. I know this for a fact. Trust me.
Why are you so confident in Juju coming?
I'm very confident. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. Okay. For one, Cam said it when he took his visit. Remember, he was on the visit with Farrakhan. Cam said it. Cam was standing right in front of him. He said, "We got him. Juju coming." Cam is kind of, he's not really, he's kind of mal-mannered, almost like Caleb Mathis. That's number one. Of course, you got Shedeur passing the keys. Then you got Good and committed. And then you got Farrakhan say he would love to play with a quarterback like Juju. Farrakhan is going to commit. Now, Farrakhan would not commit for Destin Wade or Walter Taylor. And no offense to those guys. I mean, they're working their hardest. But they're not, proven quarterbacks. So Farrakhan would not commit to Colorado under those 2 quarterbacks. Then you got, remember, Juju took 3 visits to Colorado. When he took that first visit, Coach Prime didn't have all those coaches. Juju also said, now let me tell you something else about Juju. He said, first of all, showing his keys for white. Okay, ever since June 20th, everything he has posted has been Colorado. Now, of course, yesterday he posted something about Indiana. He had a little jersey on or whatever on Instagram, but that was just I think he was just giving a little shout out, or he was trolling, because also Shedeur, he liked it. Okay. Also, Juju said that he would love to play under. This is one of his mottos now. The reason why he was going to go to USC was because he said that coach can get him to the NFL. Now, that was before, Coach Pat came into the picture.
Okay.
And he also said, now, this is all stuff that's been happening. He said that he would love to play for a coach like Pat. with 20 years NFL experience.
So let me, before I do mean to cut you off. Let me, you know how people say I don't mean to cut you off? I do mean to cut you off here because so everything you're saying are on the lines of everything that everybody has seen. And you're saying that these things are making you feel confident that he's coming. So you're kind of like basically saying what everybody is seeing is making you feel this confidence.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at all his statements. That's what I'm saying. I'd be looking at his posts and stuff. And also, after Juju erased his comments, his commitment comments from his Twitter page. His commitment comments. See, I'm talking about his USC commitment comments. He erased them from his Twitter page. And then he said, "We walk to the smoke, not away from it." Who states that type of statement? Coach Prime. So also Coach Prime today, I think
that what you just said right there impresses me more than the other stuff. when you go deeper into that kind of stuff, you say, okay, when you're evaluating that kind of comment, then I can see that. But the open stuff is like,
But the stuff that I'm saying, he is actually saying itself. So of course I said about Cam, what he said. Now of course I said about
we all saw the Cam video, we all saw all of that stuff, but I don't know if that stuff excites me because they do that stuff just for show. Yeah,
but he took the 3 visits to CU. Like I said, he erased his comments on the media. He wearing CU gear, in public. He wore the hat. The hat he wore, I think he was with his family. He wore the shorts in a restaurant. He wore the towel during a camp, in public. And he said he would love to be coached by a 20-year NFL coach, Pat. He said, stated Colorado's pro-style coaching stands out above the rest. These are his statements. I'm not throwing rhetoric out there. And then he, of course, he got the same QB trainer as Shedeur, but that don't mean nothing because you got Cam and the quarterback from Virginia Tech that's training with his under that trainer too as well, right? But also, hold on a second now.
You only on my Richter scale, you only got 1 so far. everything else I'm throwing away, but I'll keep that statement. But go ahead, give me another one.
What's the recruiting coach name?
Rispers?
Not Rispers, the other one, the young one, the brown skinned one. Him and Coach Prime was on live talking. What's his name?
The younger guy?
Yeah, he's the recruiting coach. And he's
coach.
He's brown skinned. And he was talking to Coach Prime live, and he said, "I got you the best quarterback, and it's not Shedeur." And then Coach Prime started giggling, right? And then Coach Prime said, "Everybody that came, we got." And he's like,
"All right, you might have another one. You might have another one." C.
Was it
C. Phillips? Was it Phillips?
Was it Coach Phillips? No, it wasn't Coach Phillips.
But he's a coach and he coaches and he's a recruiter?
No, he's just a recruiter.
Oh, okay.
He's a strong recruiter too. He's on the side of Rispers. Of course, Rispers is the director of recruiting.
It wasn't Corey Phillips, right?
Corey Phillips. So check it out. Corey Phillips and CP live cast. He stated he got you the best quarterback. This is what Coach Phillips said. "I got you the best quarterback in the country." And Coach Prime smiled and said, "Everybody we've gotten at, we got."
Okay.
We haven't announced it yet. Then he caught himself and he said, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that," and laughed.
All right, so you got 2. Okay, all right. So I give you 2. I'll give you 2. You got another one?
We don't recruit. They say we don't recruit no high school.
All right, I'll give you 2.
Then he was also on the Joe Klatt interview. Coach Prime, he was on a Joe Klatt interview, and he said, and this was before Jay, the 6'8" kid, and this was before Gooden signed. He said by the time he said
Stacy said, "Stop it, Coach Barry."
Stacy by the time we finish with this interview, we're gonna have 10 to 15 more players sign.
No, you can't. You can't get that. You can't get that one.
10 to 15 more players.
Hey, DC,
So,
step in here. You can't. We can't. I can't give you that one.
But then, right after that, not too long after that, Gooden signed, and then Jay signed. That was 2. Now I don't know if he might have 10, but it's not on record.
Yeah, I'll give you two solid ones. The rest is just hyperbole.
Last thing, they just dropped Juju down to a 4-star. Aha! Every player that
don't make me give you a third one. I said that one earlier in the show. Oh man, I will give you a third one on that one. I'm glad you brought that up. Like, why would they drop it? Yeah, you got a point on that one, but we kind of discussed it during the show. And DC wanted to chime back in. DC, you got anything to add to this? Do you give him 2 or 3 on DC? DC, do you give Coach Barry 2 or 3?
You know what? I can give it all to him.
No.
I'm saying that because here's the thing. Okay.
No way.
We can.
You're gonna give him the keys? Wait, you're gonna give him the keys one?
Yeah.
You don't get the keys one. Come on now.
Oh no. Well, here's what I'm sitting here saying is, I can no more say that what he's saying is truth or not truthful. So at the end of the day, if someone's looking at it, because it's all subjective, right? So my thing is like this. Okay, just keeping it real. I think it's Coach Prime. It's that, like, I'm watching other teams solidify getting stuff. They're not going. A lot of other teams are locking in. Boom, they're getting the commits. You don't necessarily have all the fanfare. I didn't have to. I'm not having to do as much tea leaf reading with some of the other teams as I do Colorado. And if that's what people like, that's what they like. My thing is, at the end of the day, is that one, I would disagree with that. Folks said that they aren't saying that Coach doesn't recruit freshmen. Basically, they're saying in home visits that he doesn't do, which he doesn't do. But the other thing is, I like to ask Coach, I want to know, when you're having to read all through all these things for a player versus it just being a hard commit with all the fanfare, how does that make you feel?
As far as when I read through it, and say that one more time.
Right. Like, would you rather not have, hey, you know what? I came, USC, it's not the place I want to be. I'm coming to Colorado. Would you not rather have something that's very direct versus the ambiguous having to read between all of this for the next 3-4 weeks?
You're not going to get that. You know why? And I think he's taking the same route that Seton took. Everybody thought Seton wasn't coming to Colorado. And he's also friends with Seton. And he's also friends with Cam. But everybody, I mean, Seton, I think he's taking that exact same route Seton took. Like, we didn't think when we thought Seton was going to go to probably Oregon, or what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was, but we didn't think he was going to come after a while. It was like it was up for grabs.
But no, keep in mind, Seton almost changed his mind. They almost snatched Seton away.
He did.
Right. Well, the thing I'm asking, Coach, is that can you name another situation where recruits are out there doing necessarily this at this point?
The only one
when you said doing this, doing what? What is this?
What do you mean?
Well, it's that I'm committed to a school, a hard commit. I didn't rescind my commitment and open back up my recruiting, which he could do at this point. But he's saying, I'm still sitting here saying I'm committed to this school, but then I'm throwing all these ambiguous signals out there.
But let me ask you this.
But that's happening all over the place now, right?
Right.
Not necessarily. I mean,
it's happening with every big recruit that we've heard about.
Well, maybe in Colorado, looking around the other, you don't see quite as much. You don't.
Yeah, I kind of see. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like, you're already committed. but then you're creating this whole media storm with the fact that you're committed, but then you're creating this other narrative that your commitment doesn't mean anything.
No, but remember now, I think it was June 20th is the last time he mentioned anything about USC. Let me ask you this, DC, when the last time have you heard him say anything about being committed to USC?
Well, see, I haven't really said anything.
I know.
Right. But the thing is right now, like if you look at the top 5 quarterbacks, well, at least the top 3, with him being the third one, they've already committed, and it's none of that. And so what I'm saying is, what would be the advantage of, why couldn't Juju just say, you know what, I'm going to open my recruiting back up. I'm going to decommit and open my recruiting back up. Why would he keep that one still with USC at this point? If he likes Pat Schumer and he likes all those things, what's the advantage of gaining it at this stage of the game to stay committed to USC?
It's hard to say why, but I can tell you this. He's going to pull that. He's going to pull that commitment off the table. Like I said, I don't know if I don't know if that raises stop. I don't know what that do, because like I said, Seton, he did it at the last minute and he just came out. Everybody was surprised by that, and I think he's going to do that same grand poobah move, and go. He might even go on live with what's the guy named the one that Seton did it in front of. He might even do that, but I know that he is going to flip.
You talking about Skip? You talking about Skip Bayless?
He might even go on live with Skip, but I know he's gonna flip.
No, they won't. I don't think they'll pull a Skip twice. I think they'll do it a little differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they do a Skip and Skip's show is not as hot anymore. It's like you don't really talk about Skip that much anymore, and Skip might just beg Prom for that. He'll be like, "Look, Prom, I need something."
Yeah, he is struggling lately.
Ever since Unc left, Skip has been like in the dark. He's been in the dark ever since Shay left.
Speaking of the hot seat, Riley is on the hot seat. That's what people don't realize too. Riley on the hot seat, man. He went 8-5 last year. He lost 2 of the 5 stars for the 2025 class, and he lose Juju, and then he go 8-5 again. He out of there. Or if he got Juju, and then
Riley's not on the hot seat. Nobody's talking about Riley being on the hot seat.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is kind of connecting into I'm saying Juju's mentality. You thinking, how long is that coach going to be around? Riley didn't say that he don't want to go to the NFL. Coach Prime did.
But you know who had a great commentary on what you just said? What's the guy that wears the is it Pate? Josh Pate? I think Josh Pate said it best. He had a video out. He said that Riley at USC is dealing with a lot of behind the scenes bureaucracy. Yep. He said that a lot of guys that come in and they're shown the throne and say, "Hey man, go do what you got to do," and they're using their NIL money correctly, like Texas is. Mm-hmm. But he said that USC has all of this. They have everything. You got the Hollywood scene, you got all of the big donors, but then behind the scenes, you got jokers who are holding up the line for no reason, and they're in the wrong spot, and they're just not doing what USC is supposed to do. So I don't think that it's his fault that he's losing these 5 stars. I think it's some behind the scenes that Josh Pate is talking about that we're not privy to. And people like Josh Pate, they're having conversations behind the scenes. So when he comes out and makes a statement like that, he says, he's put stuff out like that, he's actually doing somebody's work. Somebody is allowing him to say those things. And he probably talked to somebody who is close to Josh Pate. Not Josh Pate, to Riley. Because Riley can't necessarily go out and just say something, because that it'll be crazy. But somebody he knows that knows Josh Pate is probably saying something like that.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to get one more.
Can I just say this? Though? Consider this. But this is the only thing I'm gonna say is that if you go look at the top QBs Now I'm gonna read off the top ones on there, and then I'll step back and just listen. But let's just go down. So you have these are the 2025 top quarterback recruits, and let's start with
a quarterback.
Who was that name?
NY. People call him Antoine Hill. NY Hill.
Yes, he is. He is. Yeah. So check this out. Yes. Okay. He's committed to Memphis. Right. So let's take a look at this.
He changed his commitment from CU to Memphis.
Yeah, he did.
To Memphis, which would be crazy now, wouldn't it? Wouldn't CU be a better place? But let's just go down the list. All right. So
something scared him off.
Number 7. Let's just look at this. So number 18, Adam Sobel, he is committed. That's the number 18th quarterback in the nation. Is committed to Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. The number 26, Lloyd Jones, is number 26 is committed to Texas Tech. Let's continue. Number 35, Robert McDaniel, is committed to Arizona. Number 36, Alex Mansky, is committed to Iowa State. Number 37 is committed to Utah. Number 38, David Combs, is committed to Kansas. Do you see where I'm going with this?
I see what you're saying. But they committed.
Right. Okay. These teams, that other teams in the Big 12, and if you go down this list, you'll see all these commitments. And even at 64, Cincinnati got that, and we're still doing the tap dance with here. So I'm just saying is that if you look at QB position being a little different, so I guess I'm curious. I'm not saying he's not coming. I would have a firm lean towards Colorado, but I will sit here and tell you this. If you don't go to USC, it definitely is between you and Auburn, and I don't know. But I guess I'm just trying to find out, Coach. I was just asking, what would be the purpose of doing it at this point when you have almost all of these QBs, the top ones, that are already committed? Because if you don't get Juju, what's the repercussion?
Okay, I want to tell you 2 things to that. One thing I want to say is, why would he remove his commitment, his USC commitment statements off his social media page? Also, 45 weeks ago, he stated, when it comes to looking for a college, he looked for offensive schemes, coaching staff, long-term development. Okay, and that's what he said. That's why he chose Coach Riley. Now, remember, this was 45 weeks ago. Coach Pat, none of them, Colorado wasn't in the scene then. Remember, Prime picked up all those coaches, all those NFL coaches. How much experience did he say he had? What is it? 100? How many years he said it was? It's a ton. With all those
127, 127 years.
127 years coaching experience. Now, remember what I just said. He said that when it comes to looking for a college, he looked for offensive schemes, coaching staff, long-term development. What do you think? So which one would you pick?
Some people would challenge that long-term development, but I can speak on that before people even challenge it. I think after Shedeur, we can start looking at long-term development, which is perfect because now Shedeur's not there no more. So we're not in no hurry to try to get somebody's, resume looking good, because you don't want to focus too much on long-term development when you got people like Travis Hunter, Shedeur, that's about to go to the NFL. You don't want to surround them with a bunch of guys that are not ready to play. So I think we can start looking at long-term development when we talking about 2025, because after Shedeur leaves, after Travis, and after all these superstars leave, I think we can start focusing on development. We can start focusing more on development. But I do want to interject, guys. Nobody's talking about this kid. Ryan Staub is a really solid quarterback. I don't want to lose him. I don't know about y'all, but I think Ryan Staub is probably going to be – you don't need to have a superstar quarterback if you can fill in the line.
But – Harry, what can you do with him? I mean, he can't go in. He ain't got no time. Where's the time for him to play?
Let me ask you this then. Yeah, let me ask you this then. Because here's the thing.
What?
All right. So here's the thing.
What you do
so here's the thing. When you take Ryan Staub, and let's say I don't want that. So you have Ryan Staub sitting there. Because here's the thing that I think folks have to look at when we say this team is 10-2. and you look at the health of the program, you're now basing your future now on this young man coming in, which he very well may come in. But I'm going to ask you this, Coach. Is that best for CU to have somebody coming in and not have another good, solid QB behind? I think Staub is serviceable. But does that mean that this program, let's say, for example, do you want a situation where Florida State did use the portal, people use that, but when their quarterback went down, what happened to that team? It was a done deal. So do you want to have a team that is based on one, or do you want to have a stable of quarterbacks? Meaning, wouldn't I want to have a Juju and a good, solid transfer person in there? And why didn't we go and get one last year? Why didn't we go get one last year?
Hold on, we didn't get the Western. We didn't get the Western brother.
Well, you and Harry make good points about Ryan Staub. Yes, he's number 2. Okay, but of course, you got to have a backup quarterback because the player can get hurt easy. But
I think Ryan Staub is more than a backup. I promise you, Ryan Staub. If you really develop Ryan Staub, I really believe Ryan Staub is better than a backup. You got to look at Oklahoma. You got to look at OSU's quarterback now. All right, you got to look at OSU's quarterback. Remember, you had J.J. McCarthy at Michigan. He also played at Texas Tech. So I'm thinking now that he's on a team now, and he's playing with OSU, and he's starting now. So if you really look at some of these players, I don't know that we've given Ryan Staub a really good, a solid chance to be the starter, and he wouldn't do well. Just a little bit of an inkling that we got out of him, I'm satisfied with him being a Big 12 starter. I don't know. I'm trying to tell y'all, if you invest in this kid, he could be a Big 12 starter. I'm telling you.
He did good against Utah, but and you got a stronger line. But check this out. Look at Dylan over at Nebraska. He's gonna be starting. And you think Juju gonna be sitting on the bench when he come down? You know Juju want to play now.
But who gives him that right?
He is expecting to start.
His when he
come to see you, when he come to see you, he is expecting to start. He ain't gonna sit behind no Staub. It's not gonna happen.
But what if Staub wins? If Staub wins the job, then what does Coach Prime do? Coach Prime says, "Oh, because you are a star, I'm just gonna start you over Staub."
Staub is not that good over Juju. Juju is a killer. I mean, I watched both of them game. I mean, I watched the game even when we played.
Yeah, but Staub has Pac-12 experience.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Juju is a whole different type of beast, man. You gotta watch. I
agree. I mean, I'll give it to you. That, but keep in mind that we're talking about high school stats. We're not talking about college stats.
You're right, but I'm looking at technique. I'm looking at his form and everything he do on the field. He's quicker than Shedeur. Now, I'm not taking away nothing from Shedeur, but he's quicker. And his accuracy is very good. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? With Shedeur.
I mean, I get it, but okay, so that's the contingency plan. I say Staub is a good starting. He's a good starting Big 12 quarterback if you invest in him. The Big 12 is the way I look at the Big 12 is blue collar football, where you need a really good line on both sides of the ball, good offense and defense, and then you need a solid quarterback. I don't think we should go after a star quarterback. I think we should go after star offensive line, star defensive linemen. Get these 6'9" guys that Iowa State got, and then just get a serviceable quarterback, a good quarterback that can handle his own. You have that in Ryan Staub. If you get that, now we can actually compete, and we can be in the conversation. But if we keep putting all of our eggs in one basket, going after these stars, at the end of the day, we're actually giving up too much real estate. We're giving up too much real estate to one person, and then we're not. And then we have to say, okay, let's go look in the portal to see if we can get somebody that can hold down the line. I don't like that. I know, Stacey, I'm talking crazy, but we're talking solid football here. You got to recruit from the outside, from the inside out. And if you put all of your eggs in Juju, and then you have nothing left to go after some solid lines, then what do you do after that?
They still gonna have to get another quarterback regardless. But I feel it's a great thing to go after Juju, because now you're gonna start bringing in those 5 stars and 4 stars left and right. Look at Gooden, he's a 4-star. You know, and like I said, Farrakhan is gonna sign on the 13th. I don't know if Juju going to sign on the 13th, but he is definitely going to sign. But I know for a fact Farrakhan is signing with CU on the 13th. That's going to be the star. Once you see that go across that board, now you're going to think you're going to see that my words are facts. And Stacy even know that quite a few of my predictions. Now I'm not going to say
I'm good. Listen, I'm with y'all. I'm totally with y'all. If we can get Juju, that's fine. But I'm saying for CU's future, if we don't get Juju, we have a way. We have a path through. We don't. Juju is not end all be all for Colorado football. I think Colorado football would be fine with a Ryan Stubb or at least a decent quarterback that can handle his own, right? And then we just got to focus on that line.
I will say this, Harry. You are right that Stubb has not had a really good chance. I mean, like I said, he did good against Utah, but was all the starters playing that last game? That was the last game of the season. Who all was playing? I really wasn't focused on who all was playing for Utah that game, but it was the last game, and he did look good.
I don't know that's how you evaluate him. You can't evaluate.
I will tell you this.
Right.
If you get Juju, it'll be great. You will not keep Staub.
Yeah, you will know.
On the portal,
Juju Staub is gone. That's a fact.
Stop. And you don't have the.
That's a fact. Staub is gone.
You're not going to have.
But you are you're still going to have some quarterbacks back there. I mean, every program got backup quarterbacks now.
Oh yeah, but Staub is our best bet right now. If we get Juju, Staub is gone.
Yeah, of course. If Juju come, he is gone. Yeah, but I don't. I'm wondering, is he going to leave after this year, or is he going to leave before this year start? I mean, it's almost over. He might just
the portal's closed. So can anybody? He's not a grad student. I think the portals are closed. He's done. Everybody's baked in. Ain't nobody going nowhere.
I'll just tell you like this. You got Raiola in Nebraska. You also have another QB on there that's very serviceable that can play. But right now, they have the 17th ranked quarterback for the 2025, which is Latif. He's a 4-star. So what I'm saying is that I'm not knocking anything coach is saying. What I am sitting here saying, though, is that somehow in there, in order for you to make those elite runs, I think that you've got to have some in waiting that are developing. And because if you have Juju, because think about this, if you get Juju, then and Staub leaves, now what?
Now you got to go to the Western. You got to go to the Western. You got to bring in a new guy.
You got to, I don't know if you.
We got to recruit our own team again.
But
we're gonna be chasing guys on our own team.
What do you think Staub can go and play right away? He gonna still have to go up against. It ain't like it's gonna be a cakewalk.
Coach, Staub is the starter. I'm trying to tell you, somebody's gonna give Staub a chance. Staub is a starter. I'm telling you.
But we don't know that.
We do know that. We saw a glimpse of Staub. Remember, he came in and he kind of like he came in and took over Shedeur, and then when he had a full game for us to look at him, we was like, oh, wait a minute. This kid got some tenacity. Like, he can play football. That's all we need. I'm telling you, a start. I know you're going to call me crazy, which is I'm used to it already, okay? Y'all go ahead and do what you got to do. But I'm trying to tell you, man, the Big 12 is not the conference for us to need a star quarterback. We need a serviceable quarterback, and we need to focus on blue-collar football. Hey, I'm really reading this Big 12 situation, and what I'm reading and what I'm picking up, what they're putting down and I'm picking up, is that we got to hunker into coaching and the defensive and the offensive line. Everybody else is serviceable. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Hey, fellas, I do have to jump back off, but I'm just wanted to say, appreciate y'all. Love you. I got to jump off, but hey, y'all continue to do great things, man. Talk to y'all later.
Hey,
All right, DC, take care.
I have one more question for you.
Peace.
Jump off, Harry B.
All right, go ahead.
One more question. When we get Juju, what are you gonna say? I mean, what are you gonna be? I mean, what you gonna say now? I mean, we get Juju.
But listen to what you're saying. If we get Juju, what are you gonna say now? You're only saying that because you feel like I'm saying we're not getting Juju, or I'm against Juju. I'm not against Juju. You feel me? I'm not against Juju, but I'm saying, what is our backup plan if we don't get Juju, right? Because Case are playing too many games for me, right? I'm saying, well, if we get Juju, then we're right along the line. You and I are on the same page. So
what about Stop then? You know what I'm saying?
We get Juju, Stop is gone. Stop is automatically gone.
He can't leave. What are you gonna do?
Well, no, I'm talking about 2025. He's gone. Juju is not for 2023. He's not for 2024. Juju is for 2025. Stop is gone after 2025. Stop is there right now, backing up Shedeur. If we get Juju, Stop is gone.
But where's he gonna go?
Where's he gonna go? It don't even matter. Like, he's gone.
He's gonna slip into some program Pac-10. He ain't gonna.
Remember, Coach Prime said it himself. Stop says he wants to be a starter. Juju comes in. That's 2025. Let's go ahead and project Juju to be the starter for the next 4 years of his college career. Where does that leave Stop?
Right. Where does that leave him? Where's he gonna go?
That's why I said he's gone. It doesn't. Right. We don't know where he's gonna go, but if Coach Prime was right in saying Stop wants to start, then we already know what Stop is doing if Juju comes in, because that's the future. You're investing everything you got in a star quarterback, and somebody who wants to start is not going to sit behind a freshman coming in for 2025. You already used up 3 years of his life. So what is he going to do? Be a backup forever? No, it doesn't make sense.
That's why Elvis and Alto left, because Welch was killing him. You know, he was. But also you make a good point. But at the same time, like Coach Prime said, the grass is not always green on the other side. Now, where's Stop going to go? Wherever he go, that's what I'm saying.
Let's take that, right? You're saying the grass is not greener on wherever you go, but what are you going to do? If let's put you in the shoe, right? Now with 2024 gone, right? Stop is now what? A junior?
Yeah. Okay.
You were junior, and we're all praising this 2025 a kid coming in. He still got milk under his eyebrows, right? And he's starting over a junior. The junior only has 3 more years, right? If he graduates and goes as a graduate player. So now you got, let's just say you got 2 years of eligibility left with the options of your junior, right? Mm-hmm. Will you be sitting behind a freshman, or will you go try to find somewhere where you know you can play?
But yeah, he gonna have to leave then if that's the case. But he can't leave this year. But I guarantee you, they're not gonna sit Juju down. Come on, they're not going to lose that boy like that. That'd be crazy.
I mean, you bring in Juju, you start him. You gotta you bring in Juju, you start him, and he leaves.
Yeah, they definitely ain't gonna do him like Cormani. That ain't gonna happen. He's a quarterback, a star quarterback.
Well, what do you mean like they did Cormani? What did they do to Cormani?
Well, Cormani had to sit down. Cormani actually did it to himself. Put it like that.
Right, they didn't do nothing to Cormani. They wanted Cormani to play and to really show what he could do. If Juju comes in and he wins the job, keep in mind, Coach Prime is still going to have to. He's still going to let Juju and his dad know, hey, listen, when you come in, man, you're going to have to win this. Because keep in mind, Stop is going to now have to be he's going to be a junior, and he's going to be competing if he stays. And Stop is probably going to stay onto the spring game, because he knows that he wants that media attention to raise up his star. So if he doesn't,
so he can leave after that.
Oh yeah.
So he can leave after the spring game.
That's early. He's out of there. Like you. It doesn't make sense for you to leave before spring, or unless you like, okay, let me go to another team and go play for their spring and see if I can win a starting job. So that would make sense.
Yeah, but remember now, he's still gonna have to battle wherever he go if he goes somewhere. So that's
it's not about battling.
He's not going to just get no free spot in the quarterback role right wherever he goes. He's going to be battling quarterbacks. Come on.
Oh, but but keep in mind, it's not about the battle. It's not about that. It's about opportunity.
He's thinking about the loyalty that he stayed for so many years, and he feel that he should be getting that opportunity with CU. That's what you're saying, basically. And he didn't get it.
I'm saying it's not about the battle. It has nothing to do with that. Really, like, at the end of the day, it's about opportunity. You feel me? Because if like Stacey said, if Juju comes in, everybody knows Juju's going to be the priority. So if Juju's a priority and he's a freshman over a junior who only has about a year or so left to play, then if he wants to start, like Coach Prime said. Coach Prime says Ryan Staub told him that he wants to start. So Ryan Staub and Coach Prime's agreement behind the scenes is that, all right, you back up Shedeur. Next year comes, we want to give you an opportunity to win a starting role. But now we're talking about Juju. Juju comes, Juju starts. Where does that leave Ryan Staub? It leaves him in the transfer portal. That's easy.
But check it out. It does give him a chance to win a starting role. He got to go up against Juju in the best.
But how does he? How do you win a starting role over a star?
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
It's hard to win a starting role over a star where everybody wants him. He's literally canceling USC. He's canceling everybody else to say, I'm coming here. And his dad and the NIL people that are talking to try to get him here are all, working together to try to get him in-house. Even Peggy's working to get him there. He doesn't come here and he's not priority. If you want him to jump into the transfer portal, then you put him, you start Ryan Staub, right? Because if you do that, he's out of here too.
Yeah, but what are you saying though? Are you saying this? Let's not go after Juju and focus on Ryan Staub?
No, I'm saying Juju. Yeah. If we get Juju, that's our priority. We focus on that, and that's it. We're gonna lose Ryan Staub regardless. So if we got a chance to get Juju, let's get Juju in-house, work on the Western kid. There's like 3 other quarterbacks that's serviceable as well. We start working on them, or we go into the transfer portal and try to get him a veteran backup, somebody who doesn't really care about their NFL aspirations, or somebody that doesn't really care, that just wants, an opportunity to just continue to play football. Let's go get somebody like that. But you can't get both. You can't keep both. Ryan Staub is gone if Juju's here. It's just this point. That's it. I mean, it makes all the sense because they already said it themselves. It's no secret that Ryan Staub wants to start.
But we can get another Ryan Staub. I don't feel that he's I don't. You know what? I'll be totally honest with you, Harry. You cannot prove that he's a starter just off that Utah game.
I'm not trying to prove that. I know his mechanics are there. I don't have to prove it. I know he wants to start, and he has the mechanics to be worked on. Because when you have a quarterback like that, if you give him the opportunity to start, you now have to give him the priority, and then you have to give him a coach to work on his game. He needs that. QB1 gets all the reps. QB1 gets the priority. So you're working on his mechanics. You're giving him everything that he needs to win. The secondary guy.
You're making great points. I understand where you're coming from, though. But the only thing is, like you said, he's not. How can he can't get the opportunity? You're right, because if Juju come in there, it's not going to be an opportunity for him to take the spot, except for in what?
Right. I see no path where Juju and Staub are in the same picture. I see nothing.
Well, check this out though. I mean, you still got spring and summer. Now he proved himself in the spring, but I just don't see it happening. I mean,
and I have to push back on what I said earlier, where Ryan Staub would stick around for the spring. There's no way. He doesn't stick around for the spring because it doesn't make sense. Because you want to get to somewhere else early enough to where you can start competing and try to win yourself a job. So there's no way you stick around for spring. You don't stick around at the same team. You want to get somewhere way early to start working on your starting position, your starting job.
But you, just like you were saying, you said it yourself. He might stick around for that spring game to boost his stock up.
No, I said that, but I'm pushing back on myself. I don't see it wouldn't make sense for a Ryan Staub to do that, because let's say he doesn't play this year, right? If he doesn't play this year, now it's better for him to go somewhere early and start competing with those guys that are already in that room, so that they can see him early. But you don't want to mess around and get there late, and guys have already put in the work. Now you're playing from behind. You feel me?
Yeah, he's got a tough road.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in. It's definitely a tough position. Yeah, it's a tough position to be in. And but Stacey, I'm sorry to kill your dreams. I'm sorry to kill your Ryan Starr versus Juju dream. It ain't happening. There's no way. There's no path there. It don't make sense for a quarterback that has aspirations to start. It don't make sense. How would you back up a quarterback? It's a freshman, and you want to sit behind that guy for what?
I would like Ryan Starr to be a backup quarterback to Juju. I would like that.
But how would that? But how would that work?
I feel that Juju is the better quarterback from when I looked at his college things, all his talent, his skill level, and everything. I just like him better. He's quick. He's quicker than Ryan Starr, easy. But Ryan, don't get me wrong though, Harry. I've seen Ryan's talents. He do have some talent there.
Yeah, he got talent.
I'm not going to knock him. I'm not going to knock you for that. You're right. But
he's a starter. He's a Big 12 starter. The reason why I'm saying he's a Big 12 starter is because the Big 12 is not focused on star quarterbacks. The Big 12 is focused on building who they got and just playing hard-nosed football. Now, when you go to maybe the SEC or the Pac-12 that used to be, you had these superstar quarterbacks, but nowadays it's like for the Big 12 just need a good quarterback. Ryan Starr is a good quarterback. Give him the chance, and I'll guarantee you're gonna see him knocking heads off. You're gonna see him like killing it. If you give him a chance and you really focus on him, Ryan Starr has the mechanics to make it happen. That kid has the arm. He surprised me.
I just don't see him getting the opportunity in the Big 12 now. At a school like San Diego State or something like that.
Maybe go to a group of 5 and maybe take a step down. Take a step down and go prove yourself, and then maybe you got 1 or 2 years to really start with one of the group of 4, with one of the Power 4 teams, and then come back and finish off in your grad year. I can see that path happening for him. So yeah,
because I mean a lot of these schools, they already be having their eyes pegged on the quarterbacks that they want, and then majority of them got quarterbacks already at their school it's gonna be a dogfight for Ryan Starr. Like you said, he's just in a tough position right now.
That's right, but he takes a step down, goes somewhere, light it up, and then see how good he is. I guarantee you, it won't be a hard decision for some college to be like, for some school to be like, nah, this kid got it. Let's focus. Let's bring him in, let him compete with somebody, and he can take somebody's job. I mean, TCU is struggling. TCU need help. There's a lot of I can name a few schools off this list that I just went over that needs a good quarterback. TCU needs help. Who else needs help? TCU can use it. Baylor, BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, Arizona can use it. That's a lot of schools.
It's a lot of schools out there that he can
get out. That's a lot of schools that he can show up and give somebody the works if they're willing to give him a fair shot. Because if you don't get a fair shot, then what point is it?
And also, it just depends on what he really wants. He might be. A lot of things plays into that as well too.
I mean, we already know he wants to start. Coach Prop said it. Coach Prop said his conversation with Ryan Starr. He said Ryan Starr wants to start. So if he wants it, then if that's the case, then yeah, we already know what time it is.
That was just like Alto. Alto dad went to Coach Prime and say, hey, you're gonna make my son the number 1, and he was like, I can't tell you that, and he was out. So
yeah. You see how that goes, right? So bring Juju in and say let him compete with Ryan Starr, and you will see his dad. Juju's dad will start barking real hard, like, nah, we out. We out. Yeah, man. But let's get up out of here, man. Well, let's save some for Friday.
Yeah, it was love talking to you, Harry, man. I'll come on with you Friday. I love talking to you, man. You got a lot of knowledge, and I love your show.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on, and thanks, Willie, for coming on. Willie's been quiet. Willie's been sitting back, licking his wound. Willie said, I don't want none of this no more. So he just been sitting there licking his wound. But anyway, look, man. Hey, guys, thanks for the conversation tonight. Let's talk on Friday.
All right, brother.
All right, have a good night, man. Take care.
Yeah.